It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, back at it. Great to have you aboard, Rothman and Ice. Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes. No rhyme or reason at the controls today. The rhyme time with us, so we're happy to have him as TLC gets a much-deserved day off. Should I say that? Or just a day off?
It's just a day off.
Here's to a job done.
You know how many times we've asked him to do something that he hops on? Yeah. You're like, oh, wait a minute. Let me turn my mic on. Let me get it going. You need me? Like, yeah, this is just a day off for old TLC. But Jacob Reimer, rhyme time in the building today. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well over here, AR. Outside of watching my tribal chief, Roman Reigns, get Jays jacked off his own feet last night.
Wait, what?
By Bronson Reed.
What did you just say?
Life is good. Roman Reigns last night on Monday Night Raw.
No.
He had some fire Jays on his feet, and he got them just ripped off.
Okay.
By Bronson Reed. I'm like, what are we doing, Roman?
I think if TLC was here and he rolled back the tape.
I don't even know what I said.
We wouldn't.
I don't even know what I said.
Very proud of you. That's very nice.
Thank you.
We can check the tape.
My tribal chief's got to get it together before SummerSlam this weekend. How you doing over there? You good?
Yeah, not too shabby. I've learned a couple things this morning. One, Ryan Baker has a road rage incident at least once a week. Like once a week. He can't, and he blames it on everybody else. But I feel like either he's like this incredible odds, victim that always is in the wrong place at the wrong time, or he is doing something that somehow gets under somebody's skin on the roadway. I don't know. It sounded innocent enough today.
Yeah.
But I've heard like one after the next over the last 6 months, and it just seems like he brings a road rage story to the table once a week.
I'm starting to learn about Ryan Baker. He's one of those sneaky guys, the friend that he's got a lot of fire in him. He's the one that if you push him to that limit, then you might get the Hulk coming out.
Leaves the golf course after 9 holes. Nobody knows why or where. Just gone.
Yeah, he's got a lot of spice to him, that Ryan Baker. He'll have to tell me this story I did not hear, because a lot of my friends are that way too.
No,
they tell me about their road rage, and I'm like, is it really them or was it you? Because like you said, a lot of these stories pop up where you're getting the double bird from somebody, and they're like, "What?
Averaging a single bird once a week? Like there is one." By the way, the other thing is, and I had it, but I didn't.
What happened?
I told you the Reds plus 4.5 was plenty.
We lost the game, though.
Yeah, but you also told me to take the under on Burns K's.
Goodness.
He had 10.
Anytime I start feeling good about this baseball team, something happens. And they've been playing well. And then the baseball scheduling god said, here you go, Matty Ice. Here comes the L.A. bleeping Dodgers. And they're going to halt all of our momentum. And then I'm going to be crying. And then I see yesterday.
You're fine.
Eugenio Suarez gets hit by a pitch. That's a romantic story us Reds fans want to happen.
Right.
Bring him home. So we may not even be able to trade for him.
All right. Well, at least your guys aren't allegedly gambling on pitches.
Yeah, I don't know what that
they're offering up themselves.
Have you seen the videos going around?
I've not seen the videos, but
so people are digging in AR on some of these first pitches for Clase in the 9th inning. That maybe he was crafting bets around
individual pitches.
And individual pitches.
They've done it to themselves.
There's a reel out there of him just spiking pitches in the first of the 9th there, and they're not even close. So the evidence is not good for Clase, to say the least.
Yeah, sports could not help themselves. They stiff-armed gambling as long as they could until they realized, like a lot of people, we're leaving a lot of money and interest on the table, and here we are. And if you can bet on individual pitches, how could we be naive to think that these guys can? Well, I can just strike them out on 5 pitches. I don't need to strike them out on 3 straight.
I just don't get it, though. Like you're making so much money.
You ever watch the show American Greed?
It makes no sense to me when you've made it to that point. What are we doing?
Go watch the show American Greed.
You're making I got too many episodes of Love Island to knock out. CB was telling me I got like 30 episodes of the season to go.
It never ends.
And I'm on like episode
Love
12 right now.
What if I could transport you to Love Island right now?
Season is off the chain.
Would you still do the show from Love Island?
I don't think I have enough PTO to do the show. I think I'd be fired by the time I came back.
We give you a unit to do the show from there.
Oh, my goodness. It'd be amazing. just out there on the beach.
We give you the star treatment.
Doing it with you. Yeah, I'm not a star.
We give you the
I don't get that. I don't get that treatment
show
around
from
here.
the road.
You bring your tail in the studio, man. Ice.
This is it's a very sad day because last night I learned that, and I've said it on the show before. Growing up in Chicago, it's ironic. I'm not a Cubs fan. I wasn't a Cubs fan. My dad wasn't, and because my dad wasn't a Cubs fan, Maddie, because my dad lived near Wrigleyville and my dad didn't want lights in Wrigley Field, and the whole thing went south. And he used to, with my grandfather, he'd watch the Bears play at Wrigley Field. That's how long he goes back. And so it was weird growing up as a kid in Chicago because nothing epitomized summers in Chicago like Wrigley Field. It just, and games on WGN, you'd come home from school, games on at 2:20, and you're watching a baseball game.
I remember watching WGN games here as a kid for a while.
Yeah. Well, it was Superstation, TBS, and WGN. You'd watch the Braves, and you'd watch the Cubbies.
Yep.
And so they became America's team in a lot of ways. And I remember as a kid, Ryne Sandberg being the most unassuming star that ever walked the earth. And I know eras change and athletes change, and I'm all for that. That's fine. But I'm a little more old school than most. And this guy was just as humble of a star as I think ever was. And it's an interesting story about him because he was drafted by the Phillies way late, 20th round, traded. Dallas Green goes to the Cubs, takes a scout with him, Lee Ely, a manager with him. And then the scout says, hey, instead of just getting Larry Boa and trading Ivan De Jesus, how can we lose? Instead of trading him, get this kid Sandberg. Get him as a little sweetener, throw him in. So they throw in Sandberg to the deal. He goes to third base. They get Ron Say. He moves to second. And he starts his career like 1 for 32 or something crazy. And he wasn't a homemade star. And so in the early 80s and then into 84, which was his NL MVP award-winning season, there was the famous Ryne Sandberg game. And it was June 23rd of 84. And they were playing their ultimate rival in the Cardinals at Wrigley. And they were down 9-3 in the bottom of the sixth. And Sandberg starts a rally. And I think Bob Costas said it best once. He goes, unlike other sports, Matty, where you can get the ball to your best players, basketball, football, you can really strategize in the biggest moments to get the ball to your stars. Baseball is so special in that way. They're unlikely heroes, guys that come to the plate in certain situations, pitchers that are pitching in those situations. A ball gets hit to somebody. They make a diving catch or an error. That is the romance of baseball, that you can to some degree put guys on base and pitch around guys, and you can maybe orchestrate a little bit with shifting and things, but mostly you have moments that are not predictable. And we all know in the last seconds, LeBron's getting the ball or Jordan's getting the ball. And in baseball, you don't. And that's the beauty of it. And so he has this Sandberg game, which is ironic because Willie McGee hit for the cycle for the Cardinals that day and lost. But Sandberg hits a game-tying home run in the 10th and 11th. They wound up winning it in extras. And when I was a kid in the summer, it was like, and I'm going to get sappy on you here because that's just what I do. And so I was reading this. It was probably the best thing I ever read, and I get choked up reading it because it's so nostalgic for me. And I'm not a Cub fan. I'm a Sox fan. My dad hated the Cubs because of the lights in Wrigley Field in the neighborhood. All the idiots pouring out in the neighborhood at 11 o'clock on a weeknight.
I love that from your dad.
And he's like,
get out of here.
And like, no lights in Wrigley Field.
I love it.
And so, I mean, this was all into the late 80s. And the funny thing is, I went to the first night game at Wrigley Field. I attended. I didn't tell my dad. He probably would have killed me. But I went with my high school girlfriend, and guess what? The game was rained out. I did not see actually the first game, and then I didn't go back the next night, I don't believe. I didn't. So anyway, we get back to Sandberg in the summer, and I was reading this thing on, this is a great Twitter page on Super 70 Sports. And he's like, Super Sky Point to Ryne Sandberg, my favorite second baseman of all time. I'll never forget the countless hours tuned into WGN with Harry Carey and Steve Stone during those beautiful childhood summers that lasted forever, before we knew how fast time actually flies and that our heroes don't live forever. He could hit, he could field, he did it all with class. Ernie Banks may be Mr. Cub, but Ryne capably took that mantle for my generation. I'm already getting choked up. Somewhere in my heart, it'll always be 1984. Harry will always be 3 sheets to the wind while looking for blondes in the bleachers between pitches. And Ryne Sandberg will always get the clutch hit or make the great defensive play to save the day. That's how I remember it because that's how it was. Nobody ever wore Cubby Blue better. St. Peter, don't throw this man fastballs, but I'm sure Bruce Sutter already told you that. It's probably the coolest thing I've read since, and I barely made it through it. And so I asked Rhyme Time to pull this is the epitome of the 80s Harry Carey calling the Cubs and Ryne Sandberg when he would come to the plate.
Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Rhino, happy birthday to you. There's a drive, way back, it might be, it could be, it is! Holy cow! How's that for celebrating your 33rd birthday? And there's his son, Justin, coming out to home plate. Up the bat and runs away now. Holy cow.
I've done so much Harry Carey in my lifetime, and I was texting my friend Tim Belcher, World Series champ.
You got
Dodgers.
the gong ready over there?
It's not.
The TLC
I want to read this to you.
Yeah.
And Rhino obviously gone very too soon to cancer at 65.
Mm-hmm.
And at the Hall of Fame inductions this past weekend, Jane Forbes Clark in the Hall of Fame, they must have known because she started it. I don't know if you heard her deal, but she did a whole thing on Sandberg. And this is before we knew that he was going to pass. And he wrote, and Belcher wrote back to me, goes, he was a quiet star. And yes, no fastballs ever on the inner half, high or low. It didn't matter. As a guy who always wanted to throw everyone fastballs, I threw a higher percentage of sliders and cutters to him than anyone I ever faced.
Mm-hmm.
And if you watch one thing today in sports, go to YouTube, type in the Ryne Sandberg game from that day in June 23rd of 1984, and just watch it. And it's
good stuff.
He transcended fandom. I was not a Cub fan, and I loved him. Just like I wasn't a Bear fan, and I loved Walter Payton.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain people that walk this earth that transcend fandom for me, and he was one of them.
Yeah, and I saw a cool stat going around about Ryne Sandberg, and he and Ken Griffey Jr. are the only players in the history of the sport to have an MVP, win the home run derby, and 9+ Gold Glove awards. I mean, that's how good of a player he was before my time, but being a fan of the Reds and knowing a lot of the history within this division, that you hear that name a lot, and I knew that name growing up playing baseball. So, yeah, a lot of respect and prayers going out to his family. I know this is a tough day, but the stories that are out there that you told and going back in history and hearing some of the clips with Harry Carey, that's what it's about, and his name for sure will live on in Cubs history.
He was 23 before 23 got there.
There you go.
And so he may have been the original in Chicago. Ryne Sandberg gone too early after a long battle with cancer. We'll get started here with you. We've got some good stuff. Mike Rener, NFL and draft analyst, CBS Sports, joins us bottom of the hour. But up next, will Kevin Stefanski actually tip his hand at quarterback? You'll hear it next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We're known for 3 things: games, conversation, and Common Man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
We repurpose a lot of the junk we haul away.
Donatables get donated to a family that needs them, and the recyclables get recycled.
And we have enough trucks that we can come the day you call us.
We work to help your neighbors, the planet, and you.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
At United Dairy Farmers, peach is our most popular ice cream. And once you taste it, you'll know why. Right now, get 2 48-ounce cartons of UDF peach ice cream for $10. It's only here for a short time. UDF peach ice cream, made for you.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Your bathroom's got to go, the vanity's decayed, and toilet's really old. The bathtub's giving way. Give Baths R Us a ring. Call morning, noon, or night. You do not have to wait to get your bathroom right.
Call Baths R Us for your free estimate and enter to win our Christmas in July $12,500 bathroom remodel with an additional savings of up to $3,000 plus low to no monthly payments. 380-225-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Win big at El Dorado Scioto Downs, your Caesars Rewards hotspot. Play over 1,700 hot games. Sip craft brews at Brew Brothers. And dine at Guy Fieri's Trattoria with its famous 68-layer lasagna. Enjoy live music at Vail Bar and harness racing now through September. Experience nonstop thrills where rewards never stop. Must be 21 plus to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
Get cash for clunkers during the Honda Summer Event at Lindsay Honda.
Listen up, Columbus. Cash for clunkers is big money towards your next ride.
Up to $3,500 minimum for your trade.
Use it for the down payment, negative equity, or keep the cash.
Lease a new 2025 HRV two-wheel drive LX or 2026 Civic four-door LX for just $299 a month. Zero cash down. Just bring us your clunker. Shop Lindsay Honda, the big Honda store now. For details, visit lindsayhonda.com.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Bishop and Friends.
I love how that was his red flag. Like, that's where he drew the line, not all of the sugar that's in the filling.
It's okay, though. Fat-free whipped cream and milk. He's fine.
Bishop and Friends, sponsored by Diamond Cellar.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on The Fan.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Hey, Ohio, don't wait. The Ohio State Fair is here now through Sunday, August 3rd. Experience fair favorites like the Butter Cow, livestock animals, shopping, delicious food, exciting entertainment, thrilling rides, competitions, and so much more. Make memories that will last a lifetime at the Ohio State Fair through August 3rd. Get your tickets at ohiostatefair.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see partly to mostly sunny skies today, but another hot and humid day ahead with the heat advisory in place. Afternoon highs getting into the low 90s, but our feels like will approach 100 degrees in many spots. For tonight, partly cloudy overnight with lows down into the 70s and light winds. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hitting a hole in one into your ear hole. Ew. This is Rothman and Ice.
All right, Maddie, tell them about it.
Oh, this Thursday through Saturday, the Fan is live from Buckeye Fall Camp. We're hitting the practice fields for exclusive wall-to-wall coverage. As the Buckeyes kick off the season, you can catch Morning Juice, T-Bone and Tyvis, and Bishop and Friends all live from 6 a.m. to noon on Thursday and Friday. Listen to the Fan and watch the show streaming on the Fan's YouTube and 10 TV Plus. It's fall camp, it's Ohio State football, and it's only on the Fan.
Said it since the draft. The fun part of the Browns is the fact that they're volume shooting a quarterback, and it's pretty obvious to everyone that they don't know what they have. And they have a high floor in Flacco. If he can stay healthy, they can go out there and play some football and actually maybe compete a little bit. We have no idea whether Pickett, and now with this hammy, was it anything more than a twinge? I thought I read somewhere that he was going to get an MRI, but that doesn't make sense, does it?
It sounds like they're going to look at it at some point this week. I haven't seen how severe it is. It doesn't sound like he's going to miss a whole bunch of time, but until they look at it, I don't know if they really know. What we know, though, is the Browns' first preseason game is next Friday against Carolina. And if you're Kenny Pickett, you're in a bit of a tough spot here, right? Because you don't want to rush back before it's fully healthy and maybe take the risk of injuring it more, but you also don't want over the next week and a half, and including that preseason game, for one of these guys to rise up and maybe get a strong hold on that quarterback one spot. So I know maybe in his mind right now, he's got to be in a pretty tough spot because of where this, quote, competition is, and now you're dealing with a setback.
If you own the Browns, or if we did, we could never go public with this, but I think our directive would be that if you were going to cut somebody, cut Flacco.
I'm good with one of the vets. One of the vets makes sense to me.
That it's really not about winning games this year. It's about either being bad enough to pick high again, and we have the ammo to do it, and upgrade a quarterback, or we actually find what we somewhat believed in the draft, that there's a future, or that we believe that Kenny Pickett might be serviceable. I don't think we believe that we have. Well, we wouldn't know. We wouldn't know with Gabriel and Shedeur whether we have somebody that is a franchise quarterback. We just don't know. And so you can't get rid of either one of them without knowing. Like, that would be counterintuitive to your own scouting. Like,
completely agree.
That we like Dillon enough to draft him 50 picks before Shedeur, so we like his experience, but we think Shedeur is a talent that we could kind of grow and see what he could become. Flacco, you know where you're getting, and his career is very close to the end. And so while you can go out there and play games with him, it wouldn't really make sense. The Pickett thing, I agree with you. It's a little bit strange now that he did have this pseudo hold on maybe starting the season. So it would be weird to cut him. You wouldn't cut him based on a hamstring injury. And, like, you'd want to maybe see that through. If he was good enough.
Yeah. See, to me, AR, my mind goes to keeping Flacco around just because of his experience within this offense, right? And I think that could be valuable for Shedeur and Dillon to learn from a guy that within Kevin Stefanski's offense played at a pretty high level, helped the Brownies get to the playoffs. And I there's a lot of value in that for me, and also a guy that's been at the top of the mountain with winning a Super Bowl before. So I would want the younger guys of the two between Pickett and Joe to learn from Joe. But at the end of the day, regardless of what they do to start the year, I think it should be a 3-quarterback room with Pickett and Flacco up top, and you nailed it. Like, it'd be malpractice to me to get rid of one of these guys before you have any clue what they could do in a live game setting.
Yeah, like I said yesterday, maybe it's not fair to start a rookie quarterback before he's ready to start, and that's why maybe keeping Flacco, and it kind of takes me back to, well, now that Pickett's injured, now you have to keep them all. Just out of necessity. I think you just have to keep them all because you want to bring them all along at their own speed. I probably don't want to cut Pickett unless I feel, because if I feel like there's some future there in some way, I've got to at least see that through. And I really don't know about, Flacco's 40 years old. There's no future there.
There's no runway.
You're right. In the room, and by the way, I know he said he didn't want to be a mentor and all that, but you're right. Having his experience there isn't the worst thing. But to me, if I was running it and I had to cut one of them, and I'm telling you, I don't think they do, because quarterback's so important. So if they think that the growth of Shedeur and Dillon and Pickett will be better with Flacco there, then I'm all for keeping him because this is who they are. I don't care if they win 4 games or 5 or 3. Honestly, it doesn't matter. They're not making the playoffs. But I'll take you back because there was a media scrum today with Jimmy Haslam, and I love this. I haven't heard the answer to it because you and I both believe, I do, I won't speak for you, but I think I know where you're leaning, that if we're in that war room and Shedeur is on the board and so is Dillon, and we take Dillon, that means we believe he's better and that he can be better.
And that would mean for me, AR, I'm done taking quarterbacks in this draft. I'd be done.
Probably so. Now, I'm all for value late. What do we need? We're a quarterback-starved team. He's got a future maybe, but every team passed on this dude for round after round after round. If you want to believe it's headphones or arrogance, Fine. Is there a little dash of that celery salt in there? Fine. But the NFL is not passing on future talent because a guy may have been a little arrogant in a meeting. Right. I just don't believe it.
History shows us they will take guys with some off-the-field issues all day and tomorrow if they play at a high level.
Yeah, so my feeling is most of this league passed on him because they don't think he's a superstar. So, and I think that Andrew Berry and Stefanski also probably were in that mindset of, he's there, we're taking this guy because we think he's going to be better.
I don't believe, me personally, and I said this coming out of the draft, I don't believe that Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski wanted Shedeur Sanders. I don't think so. I think there was an invisible hand behind the scenes, and that invisible hand was Jimmy Haslam, the face that runs the place, and he made the call. Because from an owner's perspective, you look at Shedeur Sanders and you see two things. You see a quarterback that you may believe in, but you also see, oh, this can put us on the map with publicity and attention and nationally televised games and all of those things because Shedeur moves the needle. He does. Like jersey sales, all that. Kids love him. Like he is that guy for this team. And so if I'm an owner, I think there's some owners that value some of that. I do. And maybe Jimmy Haslam was one of those guys.
Well, now you get to hear if that's true from the horse's mouth.
If you'd have told me, so you picked him on Saturday, right? Friday night driving home, y'all are going to pick Shedeur, I would say that's not happening. But we had a conversation early that morning, and then we had a conversation later that day. I think we had the right people involved in the conversation. At the end of the day, that's Andrew Berry's call. Andrew made the call to pick Shedeur. Just like who's going to start or what play we're going to call is Kevin's call. But that's Andrew's call. He made the call. And you obviously.
I ain't buying it. Not buying it.
Because he may have made the call. I think that's factually correct. The owner isn't picking the player. The owner doesn't get on the phone. I think what he's doing is playing semantics here. That's his call. Now, I also believe that he's trying to pass it off as, no. I think the follow-up question is there, did you want him? Did you have any say? Did you give your opinion and then let his opinion counts more than yours? Like, I think there's follow-ups here that need to happen. I mean, I think he could force it. I don't know really what to say other than he's on the record now as saying, I did not tell him to take it.
And that's fine, but I don't buy what he's telling me.
Was it his idea to take Deshaun?
Oh, yeah, because he had to cut the check.
Okay, so it's not like he's not in the call business.
And here's I hear that, but I think if I'm Kevin Stefanski, I'm the head coach, I don't want to make my job tougher and on the opposite side of that, also make things clunkier for my team getting ready for a season with having to figure out what he has to figure out right now. So I can't imagine that Kevin Stefanski was really banging the table, sitting next to Andrew Berry and say, bring me Shedeur too, because they identified a quarterback in the third round that they believe in. And so that doesn't make sense to me because all of this, what they're going through right now, and you're hearing that Shedeur and Dillon have to go off to the side field after practice and get more work because they're not getting enough reps. We don't see this a lot in the NFL. So I just, Uncle Jimmy, I hear you, but I ain't buying it, big dog.
Yeah, this goes against what he's done since he's gotten the team. And listen, it's not that big of a deal. It was a 5th-round pick. He made the call. I don't know. Maybe if Shedeur doesn't work out, he doesn't want it to be his call. I don't know. It's only a 5th-rounder. Like, it's not that big of a deal to say, you know what, I liked him. I gave him my opinion, but ultimately it's his call. Right. But I liked Shedeur, and I told him if he took him, I'd have no problem with it.
And I also think that Jimmy doesn't mind empowering Andrew Berry because this is the second time we've had an example of, well, Jimmy's saying Andrew Berry's making the calls. Because remember, when Miles wanted to talk to Jimmy Haslam about the trade, he said, go talk to Andrew. He's running the show.
Jimmy and misunderstandings kind of clash. We come back in 2 minutes. We'll ask Mike Rener what he believes in the pecking order with the Browns quarterback situation and how it will play out. That's in 2 minutes. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
John, what are you doing? Get in my car. So why are you walking to work?
Thanks, man. It's these insanely high gas prices. They're draining my bank account. I can't afford to drive anymore.
Dude, don't walk. Just do what I do because I never pay full price for gas anymore. I use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Oh, wait. You're telling me you get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 $100.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code RICH for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's promo code RICH. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code RICH for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code RICH.
Hey there. You hear that? Right? You don't. That's what it's like to order food for your workplace with EasyCater. No hold music while you wait to place your order. No tapping as you type in special dietary instructions or long, complicated searches for options in your budget. No crinkling of paper receipts. Just...
Dang, these are some tasty sandwiches.
EasyCater, the better way to order food for work. Order now at easycater.com.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where did I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound, that's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Finding the sweet spot between the over and the under. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, welcome back. Our friend Mike Rener, CBS Sports, NFL and draft analyst. Great of him to give us a few minutes here on the Brian Heaton Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Mike, good to have you, my man.
For sure. Thanks for having me.
Tell me what you believe. Look into your crystal ball. How does this play out with the Cleveland Browns? Are they keeping... I know with the Pickett hamstring injury, I don't know if that changes anything truly other than maybe the pecking order here for camp, but Flacco, Pickett, Gabriel, and Shedeur, do they all make the roster? And how do you think it plays out?
I don't think they all make the roster. I think that's just a crazy number of quarterbacks, quite frankly. Like, how I think it shakes out is Joe Flacco wins a job week one. I just think, you know, you go back 2 years ago, he's already shown proficiency in the offense. He knows it. He gives you a level of play that you're probably comfortable with that, truthfully, no other guys have shown yet. Obviously, two are rookies, but Kenny Pickett hasn't shown that. I think he has one 300-yard game, and obviously Flacco had like 5 straight that year. So I think he wins the job. And then I don't think they cut either of the rookies. I mean, I think Kenny Pickett's the odd man out. I think he ends up either getting traded or cut just because, you know, 4 first-rounders, they get every benefit of the doubt. They get every deference, especially at the quarterback position. And now you have not one but 2 teams that have already said, you know, hey, thanks, but no thanks. You know, he wasn't even going to be the backup in Philly this year. That's why they traded him away. Tanner McKee was going to beat him out. So I do think that if that's the case, he's probably not beating Joe Flacco out. And then I don't see the upside of carrying him for the season when you want to get Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders more reps.
Mike, looking around the league, is there a team for you that you think is ready to surprise, you know, some fans this year? A team that wasn't really in the mix last year, but you like what they've done in free agency and the draft that you think is going to take maybe some big-time steps in 2025?
Yeah, I think the Patriots, maybe it's not a surprise, but I think they make the playoffs this year. I think they have a massive turnaround. They almost have to. I mean, it's a completely different team. I think, you know, depending on how starters shake out offensively, they could have over half their starters be new players, players that weren't on their roster a season ago, which is pretty nuts. And at that point, like, it's just going to be a much, much better team with all they had in free agency in the draft. But I think a little more off the radar, the team that I think has an outside chance of surprising people, I think the New York Giants. I think they're going to be a lot better than a lot of people think, mainly because, you know, where you want to be good, chiefly defensive line, they could be the best in the NFL. They have added so much to that defensive line. They should be now, depending on how good Abdul Carter is out the gate. But if he's, you know, like Jared Verse was last year or like Will Anderson was the year before, and how I viewed him as a prospect, I had him graded higher than either of those two guys. So if he comes into the NFL and is that, you have for my money, the best defensive line in the NFL. That just makes life a lot easier for every single other person on that team. So it's obviously a loaded division. They have a much harder go of it than the Patriots do from a schedule perspective. But I think they could open some eyes. I think it could be a lot better.
Would you be in favor of bad teams tanking for this next quarterback draft? Outside of Arch Manning, not really knowing, do you feel like the next year's draft is the one to tank for?
I think it's a lot better than what we just saw, at least. Now, obviously, we're staying quite a ways out. It's not like 2024 where you knew Caleb Williams, Drake May, basically a year out saying like they're going to be their top of the draft. And then you had a couple other guys obviously play their way up boards, but like you knew franchise quarterbacks were sitting there. They kind of already proved that. I'm not sure there's anyone that fits that mold yet, but there is undeniably a lot more talent. And I think you'll see guys jump into that top 10 mix that maybe aren't even getting as much hype right now. So it is going to be a great quarterback class, but it's also, I don't think Arch comes out. I think he'll stay more years. And so there may not be, say tank for it. There may not be the one guy at the top that's the consensus number one. There may just be like four guys who everyone sees as top 10. And it kind of could be like 2018 where there wasn't really an order of them. And it ended up being that the team that drafted the third quarterback off the board ended up getting the best one. So third and the fifth ended up being the best out of that draft class. So that's kind of how I see it right now, that there's no clear number one, but it is a very good quarterback class. If you need one, you're going to want to be somewhere in the top five.
So I'm glad you mentioned 24 real fast, because I think after Caleb and Jaden and that conversation, I don't think there was a lot of, it has to be Drake May or J.J. McCarthy or Michael Penix or Bo Nix. I think it was all about like, we're not really sure about those guys. Are they really first rounders or true franchise quarterbacks? So, and listen, the jury's still out on J.J. We haven't seen him play. Bo Nix looks like a very good pick right now. And he went through a roller coaster where people weren't really sure. And May now has a chance to show why he was number 3. So I'm kind of with you. It might reflect that draft a little bit, where you have one that might be, or two that might be 1A, and then maybe you find a diamond in the rough.
Yeah, and I think that class specifically is going to make a lot more people take a lot more chance at quarterback. I mean, Bo Nix was not, like you said, was not rumored to be a first rounder. He did not have a lot of people banging the table for him as first rounder. Michael Penix, similarly, did not have a lot of people banging the table saying this guy has to be it. Well, from all we saw from both of them as rookies, I think a lot of people would regret those assessments. So if there's enough talent, if they've shown anywhere close to enough, I think you're going to see a lot of teams give quarterbacks more benefit of the doubt going forward. It's just that this past year's class was objectively not good. It just wasn't a good quarterback class. That's why you saw them fall.
You touched on Bo Nix. Let's go to that division and talk about the real threats, in your opinion, to the Chiefs in the AFC West. When you look at the Broncos and the Chargers and maybe even the Raiders, how are you feeling about that division and a couple of those teams being, maybe a legit thorn in the side of Andy Reid and company?
Yeah, unfortunately, the Chargers, I thought they still had to pay for some of their cap situation. They couldn't add as much as I would have liked, given that they were probably the biggest threat to the Chiefs last year. So I don't see them making up much ground. But it's the Broncos that are the team that's like, man, if Bo Nix gets better from year 1 to year 2, which, if anything about Bo Nix, he's gotten better literally every single year of his career. So you can probably set your watch to that. And it's like, if he gets better and somehow the secondary gets better, because it's better on paper, they added a first rounder and Jahdae Barron to it. And then if the offensive line gets better, the run game gets better, which they should. And, drafting RJ Harvey in the second round, he's much better than anyone else they had in that roster at running back. There's a lot of reason to believe that that team could actually be the first one since Patrick Mahomes took over a starter that actually unseats the Chiefs in the West. So I do think it's a much more difficult division. And I haven't even mentioned the Raiders, unfortunately, with the Christian Wilkins saga. I don't think they're realistic contenders. I thought they could have been if they had him back fully healthy, playing at a high level. But they should still be at least much improved offensively. I think Geno Smith's going to be best quarterback they've had since Derek Carr broke his ankle. What was that, 2017? So the division is finally a real division with 3 real teams that can compete with the Chiefs.
Well done, my man. Appreciate you jumping on as always. Can't wait to talk ball with you this season. Thanks a lot, Mike.
For sure. Thanks so much for having me. Take it easy.
Take care. Mike Renner, NFL draft analyst, CBS Sports. It's interesting about some of these teams like that he didn't mention and we didn't get to, like how young the Packers are, how young now with the Jags with Hunter and Brian Thomas Jr. Will that get that money out of Trevor Lawrence? Those teams that I think have a chance to make some noise. And the Jordan Love. I think in my mind it tells me that they were right about him, that he is going to be the guy that they think he is.
Yeah, they're in that position now where it's time to make some impactful moments in the postseason, because they were the youngest team in the league a couple of years ago. I think they were the youngest team again last year, but they've learned a lot over the last couple of years. Very tough division, as we all know. I like the addition of Matthew Golden from Texas and another body in that wide receiver room, but I'm in. Like, I see the vision with Jordan Love, but I think it's time to really ramp up as a franchise and really get in the mix.
They may still be the youngest NFL roster.
Wouldn't surprise me.
And they've had good couple of years, and they're still the youngest.
And they got a good head coach, too.
Guys, if you don't feel as young as you are or as young as you think you should feel, then it's time to go to Low T Center and get your T level tested, because you shouldn't constantly be feeling tired and constantly not being able to focus and not enough energy to get going and do the things you want to do, especially now in the summertime. It really doesn't have to be this way. So picture this. Get your life back with testosterone therapy with Low T Center. It's never been a better time. Just visit Low T Center. You can jump online and book your appointment at fixmylowt.com and go take the test. Go to a center, take the test. Results are available in about 15 minutes. And right now the test is still free, so get in now before you miss that. And if you need the treatment and want to start it, most major insurance is accepted, so it becomes very minimal as far as cost. But it's really about taking control of your health, and you can get a custom dose TRT whether you go to the center or have it shipped right to your home. It's very convenient, and there are referral fees involved. Tell your friends, you get started, they get started, and you get a $250 credit, and you'll be on your way just to feeling better. So book your appointment now at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com. When we come back, let's go back, because I promised you'd hear from Kevin Stefanski on Dylan Gabriel, and maybe we can kind of listen and see whether he is the guy that's going to survive this whole tryout sort of thing in camp. And you'll hear it next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We're the girthiest radio station in the history of radio. Uncomfortably girthy. This promo is uncomfortable. The Fan, Ohio's girth destination.
It's the summer event at Germain Honda of Dublin, and Rich has deals that are red hot. Lease the rugged 25 Honda Ridgeline Sport for only $339 a month, or finance with an unbeatable 0.99% APR. Or you can take on any road in the all-new 25 Honda Passport RTL. Lease it now for $449 a month or 3.99% APR. Summer's here. Dive into the savings at Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270. See dealer for details.
It's been a great run. Care Heating and Cooling has achieved goals I could only imagine 30 years ago. But now it's time for the next generation to take over. This is Mike Weens, now the retired founder of Care Heating and Cooling, with my sons, Dennis and Ryan.
Dad, I remember you saying that a family business should reflect family values, that a customer deserves to be treated with kindness and compassion.
And those values will never change. The reputation you built for being fair and honest is our greatest asset.
In fact, in 2024, Care was awarded a BBB Torch Award for ethics and named the Lennox Partner of the Year.
You don't earn those awards by leaving cat toys behind. It's an honor to continue serving Central Ohio as a locally owned, family-run business.
So, whether you need a tune-up, repair, or just honest advice, Care is here for you.
Call Care Heating and Cooling at 1-800-COOLING or schedule an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
My name is Andre Roberts, and I'm a defender for the Ohio State men's soccer team. When I was in 7th grade, I fractured my kneecap. That was my first experience with Orthopedic One. My physician came in the room and delivered the diagnosis, and with the confidence that he had, it reassured me that I would be okay. And they definitely did a good job of knowing as a soccer player when I needed confidence, when I needed to be pushed, and they got me right back to where I was before my injury. Orthopedic One understood what it means to be a soccer player.
You know, it's not the shoes. It's what you can put in them that makes all the difference. Hey, it's Anthony. I've been a customer at the Good Feet store for a while now, and I'm all about my personally fit arch supports. They support my feet better than all the insoles I've jammed into my shoes over the years. And my Good Feet arch supports help me in a ton of ways. From overall support and balance to stabilizing my heels and the fact they distribute my body weight, especially when I'm golfing, I literally have spring in my step now. Check them out for yourself. The free fitting is designed to help them understand you, your pain, and your discomfort. It's simple. Just stop by the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway or Stringtown Road in Grove City. You don't need an appointment, but you can certainly schedule one very easily online. Get back to living the life you love with the Good Feet store. For more than 30 years, they've taken great pleasure in helping thousands discover the comfort they've been dreaming of, just like me. Get professionally fitted at goodfeet.com.
After an audit of our programming, the suits here at The Fan decided we needed more baseball. And that common man is stupid. Good news. We fixed one of those problems. Catch the Reds on The Fan all season long. Yay, baseball.
Hot damn! Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea just got harder with Twisted Tea Extreme. The hard iced tea taste you know and love, but with an 8% kick of alcohol. Twisted Tea Extreme is made with real brewed tea, goes down smooth, and brings your daytime drinking to the next level. Just look for the bright yellow cans in the cooler and get ready to dial up the fun. Big flavor, extreme kick. Twisted Tea Extreme. Keep it twisted!
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly. For over 20 years, Purple Wave Auction has been the trusted leader in online auctions, offering the easiest way to buy and sell equipment. From bulldozers to backhoes and combines to cranes, we host multiple weekly auctions in construction, ag, and fleet equipment. With our no reserve format and sell where it sits approach, you can bid on local equipment without waiting for far off auction dates. Get registered for free and start bidding today at purplewave.com.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. There's nothing like ripping off your pants and enjoying some lobster bisque. This is Rothman and Ice.
All right, so we played you that Jimmy Haslam clip about how he didn't force feed Shedeur to the Browns. It was Andrew Berry's call. Never really got to the, well, how much did you like him? How much did you weigh in? Did they ask for your opinion? Does your opinion matter?
As the owner of the franchise, too, right, AR, you can't admit that publicly because you don't want to undermine your GM.
No, and he's not a football guy. Like, I do like owners that say, I let my football guys be football guys, but like you said, you got to be tempted by getting a polarizing star potential and the son of a legend. Like, it matters. It moves the needle.
Yeah.
It sells jerseys. It gets fans excited.
No doubt.
Whether he flops or not is anybody's guess. We'll see. The other thing that he was asked, and I'll just quote this. He was asked about being linked to Arch Manning already. And he said, you're in the business and you get paid by how many hits you get. I think if you knew the Manning family, I would bet, and I don't know Arch at all, I bet he stays in college 2 more years. I don't even think that's worth discussing. Okay, he may be right. Manning's 21. He'll be eligible to enter the draft next year. We'll find out how his season goes. If he has a miraculous season and he wins the national title, you going to tell me he's coming back?
Probably not.
Now, short of winning a natty, he might say, I want to do that, or I want to have a shot at that, or depending on where things are. I mean, he's never going to have to want for an NIL deal. So it's not going to be about money that's going to launch him. That's not going to be the motivator. The other motivator will be, and the Mannings have played this, and Eli played it. Let's see how the NFL season goes. Let's see who's picking first. Let's see who's got the ammo. You don't think the Manning family, of all families, is going to try to master of puppets this thing to give him the best chance?
Wouldn't surprise me. They've
already done it.
So Colin Cowherd got the ball rolling last week, AR, on the whole Haslam, Tennessee connection, and he looped in Nick Saban as a possibility as well. Maybe that's Jimmy Haslam's grand plan, is to
fire Stefanski, hire Saban, and draft Arch?
That was out there. Colin Cowherd started that last week. Who knows whether that's real or not. The elephant in the room is that Arch, as you said, could run it back for a couple more years at the collegiate ranks. The dude's probably making money through the roof down there in Austin. He doesn't need for money either, based off of who his family is as well. And so that's why I just think all of this in Cleveland right now is a mess. It's a mess. And this is why you don't draft two rookie quarterbacks in the same offseason, because it rarely is a clean path to where you need to go as a franchise and get the answers that you need. And so you got to move on from one of these vets, and you have to allow these dudes to play, that being Dillon or Shedeur.
Jimmy Haslam.
He's a mess.
It is.
I would say, and I'm not I could play the age game with Saban, but I'm not going to do it because of Pete Carroll and guys that have come before him, and Marv Levy. These guys coached into their 70s. Yep. Belichick was 71 when he was coaching the Pats. Like, I know that by the time Arch would get there as a rookie, Saban would be 74 or 75.
Yeah.
So he'd definitely be on the older side. I mean, Vermeil coached into his late 60s. Arians.
I'll buy more into.
He's a younger. I mean, he is. Let's put it. I don't know him personally, obviously, but he comes off as a younger 73.
Same with Pete Carroll. Like Pete Carroll's always been known for his energy, right? Like you watch Pete Carroll, he's running around there at practice, chomping the gum and all
he's
that stuff.
He's a great gum
gloves.
chomper.
Like he and Harbaugh still think they can play. Like it's crazy. Like, and I'm sure that works out well for their franchises to have a head coach that comes in with energy every day, and it seems to be in a good mood. What's up, Rhyme Time?
Hey, Belichick's still coaching at 73.
He is still coaching.
Yeah, that's right.
Still cooking down there in Chapel Hill. I can't wait to see what they bring to the field this year. I think it's going to be rough. He hadn't had time to build it. Year one, I think it will be rough. And then I think he might, I'm out. I'm gone.
She's back in the mix, though, as far as being allowed on the field and all that stuff. And I kind of brushed that away. Like, we never told him to make sure she doesn't show up.
Maybe there's a little wink behind the scenes. We got to calm this down.
Kevin Stefanski, here he is on what he's seen from Dillon Gabriel taking the first team reps.
I think all these guys have to learn from every single rep, whether they're in there or not. I think that's something we've talked about at length, and I've talked with you guys about that. And I thought Dillon did a nice job with the reps that he had. There were some really good moments, and then some moments that are great teaching moments. I think that's so much of where we are in training camp is making sure that as a mistake is made, we don't make the same mistake again.
What are you going to take out of that? How old is he now?
Stefanski?
No, Dillon Gabriel, sorry.
I would have to guess he's probably 24.
He's an older rookie, let's put it that way.
He's been around for a minute.
He's had a lot of...
on the number.
24? Okay.
That's a lot of experience, game experience. He's been productive. He's smaller. We know that.
He is tiny.
So
when I watched the quarterback line the other day where they were just, going through warm-ups or whatever, and you go from Pickett and Flacco and Shedeur, like, Dillon is tiny. And that doesn't mean it can't work, but those guys obviously have an uphill climb. Like Drew Brees he's a one-of-one type of guy. That's played at an elite level that wasn't a tall guy. And so that'll be a challenge for Dillon for sure.
6 feet with the helmet and cleats.
Yeah, so he's probably about 5'10". Without that stuff,
get him to a 5'11".
So you just got to have your offensive line hold up. That's the most important part of all of this. It's just, man, you look back and there's been a couple examples throughout the history of the league to where guys as rookies really grabbed a hold of the starting job and balled out.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson did it. Dak did it. But Dak needed the Romo injury to open up the door. And look, Dak played really well back in 2016 when he was a rookie and he had that game against Jared Goff to where you're like, okay, like we got a 4th-round pick that's going toe-to-toe with the number 1 pick in the draft. You saw that promise right away. So it's going to be going up against history that the Browns would find a gem and a star quarterback in the 3rd or the 5th round, whether it is Dillon or Shedeur.
Russ was a lot more mobile than Dillon. He just had a little more athleticism in that way. Not that Dillon can't run, he can, but
now you're in the NFL.
Yeah, it's an uphill climb. Yeah. We know it. And I just like Mike Rener when he came on, he said like he thinks Pickett's the odd man out. It's weird to go from number 1 reps, probably starting the season, to hamstring injury, we're going to trade you.
That's going to fluctuate, like the reps with the ones, right? Like that. I think that's going to change in the coming weeks, as it will, I'm sure, for Ohio State. We're going to hear, I believe, similar things, and we're all going to be Jon Snow from Game of Thrones, like Ygritte said. You know nothing, Jon Snow. We know nothing. We can only go off of what we see, and even baked into what we see is we don't know, is it ones versus ones? Is it, a specific play call that they're working on time in and time out. It's fun, though, to talk about. And I'm here for all of it. It's just a tough job for Kevin Stefanski in a year where there's a lot of pressure on him, I believe, to have some type of success and some type of positivity as far as that position having something to look forward to in the years to come.
If Haslam is really telling his football guys, you make the decisions, IBM presents, you make the call. If he really does believe that, and he really is doing that, then I hate to say, I think Flacco is Stefanski's guy to give him the warm blanket to sleep at night and feel good about, hey, I've got to move on from one of these other guys.
How
one
could
of the
it
other
not
three.
be him, to your point, right?
Unless it's the other way, which is this year is not about winning 5 or 6 games. It's not. It's about finding our future quarterback, and he's not 40 years old.
Right.
So
that's where I think they should be.
Right. And so if Haslam isn't ordering the code red, then I think Stefanski's keeping Flacco, and then we'll see how Pickett survives. And maybe Dylan Gabriel is actually the one that, even though he's picked 50 picks before Shedeur, maybe he's the one.
I would be blown away if they got rid of one of Dylan or Shedeur before we get to the games that matter. I'd be shocked. I really would.
That is definitely the underdog, for sure.
I'd be surprised.
We come back, top of the hour, Sports Center update, and the sign-stealing scandal. Will it ever be ancient history? A former Buck weighs in. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Columbus, the Blue Jackets schedule is out. And you can lock in your seats with ticket plans starting at just 11 games. Don't miss a moment of the action. Visit BlueJackets.com.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 3 trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
The savings are on at Coughlin Ford. Lease a new 25 Ford Escape or Bronco Sport. Just $399 a month with 0 down. New 25 F-150 or Lightning Flash. Only $499 a month with 0 down. At all 4 Coughlin Ford locations, including our newest in Marysville. Visit CoughlinFord.com.
48-month lease. All factory rebates to dealer. All prior sales excluded. In-stock units only. 7,500 miles per year. 25 cents per mile over. Excludes $250 dock fee. $395 disposition fee at lease end. No security deposit. See dealer for details. Ends 9/2/25.
Working your way through that honey-do list? That means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing and drain cleanings and repairs and all your heating and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your furnace or air conditioner. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain cleaning? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing issues? Call the Waterworks. Furnace repairs? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted neighborhood plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
Patients everywhere are experiencing joint pain relief thanks to QC Kinetics regenerative treatments. So how does this non-surgical approach work? QC Kinetics Medical Director Dr. Aaron Wolkoff explains.
Is like when you get a paper cut and the cells that come onto that scene first stop the bleeding and then it recruits more cells to form new skin and new soft tissue. And then you look down a week later, 2 weeks later, and it's like nothing happened and that paper cut never existed.
In this same way, QC Kinetics uses your natural biologics to help repair and restore aching knees, hips, shoulders, and backs.
We take those same similar cells in different areas that are arthritic, are painful, and we cause this kind of internal self-healing that can resolve patients' pain.
Relief without surgery. See if you're a candidate for QC Kinetics regenerative treatments.
Call QC Kinetics 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Did you know dropping your first 25 pounds with a Awaken 180 adds 6 to 8 yards to every shot? Even better scores every 5 pounds after that. Look it up. Freedom from excess fat is measurable. Take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey there. You hear that? Right. You don't. That's what it's like to order food for your workplace with EasyCater. No hold music while you wait to place your order. No tapping as you type in special dietary instructions or long, complicated searches for options in your budget. No crinkling of paper receipts. Just
Dang, these are some tasty sandwiches.
EasyCater, the better way to order food for work. Order now at easycater.com.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where did I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. Both the Guardians and Reds in action tonight, coming off of losses yesterday. Cleveland welcomes the Colorado Rockies to Progressive Field at 6:40. Logan Allen versus Tanner Gordon. That's your pitching matchup. Down at Great American Ballpark, the Cincinnati Reds continuing their series with the Los Angeles Dodgers at 7:10. A nice pitching matchup in this one. Nick Lodolo gets the ball for Cincy. Tyler Glasnow for L.A. Coverage over on ESPN Columbus begins at 6:40 tonight. We'll join it in progress here on The Fan at 8. The Columbus Clippers down in Florida taking on Jacksonville at 7:05. Former Chicago Cubs second baseman and Hall of Famer Ryne Sandberg has passed away at the age of 65. This one's sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Mark Levy's office at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or online, sleepbettercolumbus.com.
Fascinating, informative, covered in dog slobber. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, second hour. Rothman and Ice. Bill Benner of the Sporting News, 1:30. Hit on college ball with him. We stay with college football. And it's like, of course, the sign stealing scandal is still around because we haven't seen the penalties, whatever they could be or would be. It's never going to be completely in the rearview mirror until you feel like there is a consequence.
There was some stuff out there this week in AR that some type of ruling could come down this week. And again, that's all it was a rumor, and you may see some suspensions and fines and recruiting limitations and all of those things. And so maybe you get a postseason ban or some vacated wins, but there was a rumor out there this weekend that the NCAA could be moving forward with the whole Michigan saga. And maybe we get some news this week. Who knows?
You know, you get tired of talking about it because if you talk about it, it sounds like sour grapes. And if you don't talk about it, it sounds like you're just dismissing it. And so there really is not a huge win in talking about it. I have said this before, though. Vacated wins, when you say it, it sounds, most people, if you say that, social media takes the vacated wins like, well, that's garbage. It means nothing. Nobody cares. You watch the games. You were there. You know who won. You know who lost. No one's keeping track of this except the people who are. And the difference between vacated wins for Michigan and vacated wins for LSU would be a big deal because Michigan is the all-time winningest college football program in history. It does matter. You know who's two? Ohio State.
Mm-hmm. Buckeyes.
And so from a historical standpoint, listen, vacated wins wouldn't be the top of my list on that's a must but it's something. It's not nothing. And I don't know, maybe I'm just that way where I look at that stuff and feel like, well, as long as they're going to be keeping that stat, then it is important because at the end of the day, wins are national titles, obviously, are the biggest.
Yeah.
And then the wins over your rival are that part of it. And so if you take those away, then it has some meaning. But I'm not here to say that that's the ultimate thing. So Jack Sawyer made some public comments on it. He was on Cam Hayward's podcast, Not Just Football. And, of course, they were going to talk about this and kind of go back in time. And there are certain aspects, I would imagine, of being a player in the game versus a fan who watched, which could be mind-blowing.
I think they beat us straight up last year, obviously, and the year before. But my sophomore year, we left the field. We were like, this feels weird. We lost, by double digits, and it felt like we had beat the shit out of them all game. We were on a screen pass that we had never put in. Not the formation, not the look, anything. And, you see them on the sideline, they're doing it, and we change it. We audible do it or whatever. And when we run it, all the D linemen, as soon as the ball is snapped, the linebackers, everybody, they sniffed it out. We ran a tight end screen from the 25-yard line going in, and they snuff it out on first and 10. Come on, man.
So watching the game, you may just see a play that got blown up. From a player's standpoint, it's like a damn magic show, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, it'd be like me pulling a Oz the Mentalist on you. You'd be like, you had to have known. There's no way you could know that. And there's no way that, and so I've always said when I've discussed this, is that, yes, there's a lot of talent on the field. It wasn't like Michigan was a D3 school that beat Ohio State. There's talent.
Yeah.
But it's like the analogy I always made right after it happened was, if I'm sitting at the blackjack table and I'm at third base and I'm deciding what cards the dealer is going to bust or not, and I kind of know every other card that's coming, I should be able to win money. Yeah. I should. It doesn't mean that I will, but it means it's a big advantage. And so the Connor Stallions' response to this, and I still haven't watched it because I didn't really care to hear it because I didn't think I'd get anything out of it. But remember when Stover gave that interview about it, that they tried that same thing that Sawyer just talked about. And Connor Stallions said on Barstool's podcast, he goes, here's the thing. Ohio State had like 8 signalers all year, something like that. Everyone signals the formation. Mistake number 1. Mistake number 2, they never changed who their live signaler was the entire season. That's according to him, that he knew that no matter what, that they were never changing that up. Now, how he knew who was the live?
There you go, AO.
That's all the back stuff he did with the spine. Because then you can put apples to apples. You can say what play was run, what was called, and then you can say, well, that's the play. I go back to all the signalers that I have on tape, and it matched that guy again. Oh, so he's always the guy. So all these are just fraudulent signalers. So, he did it better than everybody else, better than most, and he did it illegally according to the rules, that he took it way too far. I think he justified it in his mind like a lot of people do who cheat, that say, I'm just outworking everyone.
Which wasn't the case, because you used the word illegally, and that's exactly what it was. You weren't allowed to use technology in the way that they were using technology to help them out and elevate their football product on a weekly basis.
To go back and decipher and do all that.
You just weren't allowed to do those things. And so organically in sports, you're going to be able to pick up on things that can help you out. Like we've heard for years in baseball, like, okay, hey, this pitcher's tipping pitches, right? When he shakes his glove that way, a fastball's coming. Or if he does it this way, a curveball's coming. Like, those things happen, and those type of tendencies that you can pick up in that form and fashion, I'm good with. What they were doing, I think it's disrespectful to the game. I truly believe that. And I liken it to what we saw from the Houston Astros, right? Like, when you have that type of information available to you, is it the end-all, be-all for your success? No. But what it can do is fast-track you to getting to a higher level of success in the way that the Houston Astros did. When they had the banging the trash can stuff and some electronics involved where you had the little buzzers or whatever underneath the jersey that this pitch is coming, you still have to go out and execute as a hitter.
Never proven, apparently.
But Jose Altuve didn't want to take off his jersey because he said his wife, won't allow him to be shirtless out there. But, as I'm celebrating coming to home plate, don't rip my jersey off, but I got nothing to hide. Nobody was buying that either. And so when you're a hitter and 95 is coming or a curveball is coming, that likens your chances of getting on base and getting a hit. So if I'm a linebacker on defense and I get information back from my sideline and I know when this snap comes and that quarterback snaps the ball or the center snaps the ball to the quarterback, and I know that there is a run play to the left coming, what that can do for me is it cut down a couple steps for me, and I can get from point A to point B quicker. And that can be the difference when you're talking about Ohio State and Michigan on the same field with similar talent. We always hear from coaches and players, man, it takes so much to execute at this level. And when you have the answers, the way to me it seemed that they had the answers, that's a big-time deal. And I can understand why Jack and Cade and some of these other guys feel slighted in those moments, because it's like, if we're going to go out, let's just go out respectfully to each other the right way and just come out here and beat each other up physically and just try to execute more than the other player and the other team. Michigan wasn't doing that.
Yeah, you want the supposed greatest rivalry in sports to be built upon and continue to be built upon what you just said, which is that the better team that day won and not the team that found the edge illegally. Now, Ohio State blew them away with first downs. They also had a couple turnovers in that game that Stroud had. So we can go back through it, and we have, and it does, I think, when they do a 30 for 30, another one, or 20 years ago, guys were talking about what's going to happen is it'll be more romanced in a way. It'll be more of the stealing the other team's mascot and playbook and the stuff from old school that people justified. There are teams and players who cheat all the time. This isn't. Every team tries to steal signs. Mm-hmm. Baseball, football, you talk about the Astros, and anyone who says differently is just being naive. The difference is if we don't have severe consequences when it happens, we're already battling an uphill climb with gambling and the integrity. I've always said this. All I want to know at the end of the day, are my games on the up and up? Are players not shaving points? Are refs not doing something off? And I don't think there's any way to truly know, but unless you're going to have severe consequences to cheating, then we can't keep pretending that it's going to end or it's bad or whatever. If they're just trying to, because during the steroid scandal in baseball, I think they believed that certainly this was better for the game as a whole. Guys were mashing home runs. Casual fans were in on it. We believed our heroes were real, and Sosa and McGuire. They weren't artificial. Even though, and Bonds, and we believed guys are true mashers, and maybe they were, maybe they weren't, maybe they just got that help. But every team is trying for an edge. Every team is out there looking for one. So
it's just the how. It's the how.
When
it's
it
the process of how you go about it.
And when it's happening in the greatest rivalry in sports, it should sting more. It should.
And speaking of stinging, if you really want to make an example of Michigan, that being the NCAA, you hit them with a postseason ban. Year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it looks like. You take away their opportunity to play for the ultimate prize.
Or at least a sizable suspension.
That ain't going to cut it. I don't think, AR.
A head coach who supposedly deleted text messages on the subject and all that.
You really want to shake the room if you're the NCAA to keep programs away from doing anything like this? Ban them from the postseason.
Could we have an unlikely star down in the Queen City? We'll discuss next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
A lot has changed in 30 years, but we're still that old shoe that feels worn in and well-loved. And, we smell a little, but you've accepted that. The Fan.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain. And at Toyota West, we're having our biggest pre-owned sales event of the year. With over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're searching for. And during our Go Forth sales event, every pre-owned vehicle is discounted and comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty. At Toyota West, you don't have to choose between a great experience and a great price. We deliver both. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com.
Got one of those days that never stops? Try a stop at Speedway. Refresh your fuel tank, refresh your U-tank with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks. And refresh the vibe for any drive. Refresh at Speedway with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks with Speedy Rewards and try exclusive Mountain Dew Infinite Swirl flavor for a limited time only. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 8/26/25. See app for full terms.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
I have a buddy who's going to be popping the question soon. He's planning everything out. He asked me, can you help me out with the ring? I said, of course I can. I've got a guy, Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Now you talk, Bob.
Hi, I'm Bob Capace. I'm your guy.
Go in, see my friends at Worthington Jewelers, tell them I sent you, and you'll get the true VIP experience.
I'll treat them better than I treat you.
That's not hard. Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington, worthingtonjewelers.com, where Columbus gets engaged. And tell them Common Man sent you.
The Dublin Irish Festival, August 1st through 3rd in Dublin, Ohio. Voted 2025 USA Today Best Cultural Festival in the nation. This year promises 3 incredible days of Irish music, dance, food, and fun. Get your tickets at DublinIrishFestival.org.
Jerry, I've made a decision.
Aaron, are you giving away free services again?
Well, yeah. How did you know?
I haven't been able to quit thinking about your AC piggy bank.
Get Eco.
ECO. We work to extend the life of their old air conditioner and then give back all the money we were paid to do it.
Up to $1,500.
When they need to buy a new system.
Jerry, I'm getting ready to do something like that again.
Get Eco.
ECO.
When we replace a water heater, I'm instructing all the Eco plumbers to give our customers up to $500 in free repairs before they leave the house.
$500 in free services that same day?
There's lots and lots and lots of things our plumbers can do for $500 or less.
And Eco is going to do these things for free when people buy a water heater?
Yeah, whatever they want for free.
That same day?
Same day.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Give it away, plumbers, genius electricians, and gonna make you cool again, HVAC technicians.
Go to geteco.com.
Join the fan weeknights at 6 for the Buckeye Show. And if you're asking if it's just a bunch of homers rooting for all things Ohio State, yes it is. Proud to be your flagship home of the Buckeyes, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself, or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See, we didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
The outdoor drama Tecumseh is back this summer. The drama, the history, and the spectacle make Tecumseh one of Ohio's most beloved traditions. Tecumseh has provided thrilling live entertainment for 50 years, and the outdoor theater at Sugarloaf Mountain will provide a safe and memorable experience for your entire family. Get tickets now at tecumsehdrama.com. This message is made possible in part by the Ohio Arts Council. Tecumseh, experience the drama.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see partly to mostly sunny skies today, but another hot and humid day ahead with the heat advisory in place. Afternoon highs getting into the low 90s, but our feels like will approach 100 degrees in many spots. For tonight, partly cloudy overnight with lows down into the 70s and light winds. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Like Yoda, Rothman will limp onto the golf course, talk about how stiff his back is, wonder how he can even make it through a hole, and then proceed to kick your ass. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
It'll be fantasy season before we know it. We'll get to that in a minute.
Fellas, I know sometimes you may wake up and you're like, I just don't have it today. I can't get to the gym. I can't get things done the way I used to. That can change if you go visit my friends at the Columbus Men's Clinic, because over there, there's no guesswork. There's no gimmicks, just real science and effective treatments. They have personalized treatment plans medical providers right there ready for you. So check them out. Check them out on their website at columbusmensclinic.com today. It's affordable. It's accessible, and consultation, including blood work, is just $99 with results before you leave. I went over there a few months ago. They took care of me. They laid it all out for me in a way that I could understand, and I felt good about where I was moving forward, and I want you to be one of those guys as well. So, again, check them out at columbusmensclinic.com. Or give them a call at 614-300-7400. Again, that's 614-300-7400. Get on over to the Columbus Men's Clinic today.
It doesn't seem like there's any movement with the Trey Henderson situation right now. There's a fairly optimistic update when I was listening to Jeremy Fowler this morning on Get Up about how they feel like they have the framework of a contract, but it really is about the important details, which are the guarantees in it, the guaranteed money in it. And so that feels like they're far apart. It depends on who you're asking. But when we had Schefter on, it felt like they were far apart. And we're talking multiple millions apart in guaranteed money. It's a kid who's we know he's led the league in sacks the last couple of years. I think it's an age issue as far as them guaranteeing him.
Yeah.
As much as he probably wants to be guaranteed. Entering the final year of his contract, he doesn't want to go to work for $16 million in base salary. I think they'll get to it. I think eventually he won't give up. He won't risk his health for, I say, $1 million a week. I know most of us would risk a lot for $1 million a week. Ooh-wee. But he's in a position where he can negotiate for a lot more than that. And I understand why he wants more guaranteed money at his age and getting after the quarterback than most. But I just feel like he hasn't really been painted as a guy who's overstepping, because how could you overstep if you led the league in that category 2 years in a row? So it'd make you feel like, to me, it's a little bit of reality in his age that maybe you timed it up not great, that it didn't happen when you were 26, 27, but here we are. And I think he's probably going to have to come off his number a little and maybe try to get whatever guarantees he can and then bet on himself a little bit that he'll stay healthy.
Yeah, it's the hang-up for me, or not for me, but I think everything you hear about what's going on down there is it's the guarantees beyond the 1 year of the new deal because of what you said, AR, when you're 30, 31, and as a franchise, how promising are those years on the field going to be when a guy gets to ages 33 and 34? And so that's the holdup, and that's the back and forth at this point, is that Trey is saying, because of where I am in age and also because of how productive I've been over the last few years, I want to make sure that if it's, years 2 and 3 of the contract, or maybe it's just the first 2 years of the contract, that I have guaranteed money coming my way. I believe, you look at Max Crosby, TJ Watt, Myles Garrett, some of these deals that got done this all season for pass rushers, either all of those guys, a couple of those guys, or maybe just one have guaranteed years beyond the first year. And that's something that the Bengals are clearly uncomfortable with. And Trey is obviously uncomfortable with that deal because he wants that security beyond 2025. But he's got the leverage because he's like, hey, listen, man, where's this defense going without me if I'm not here? Because it's not even just the defense, it's the team goals, too, that change if you don't have a guy like that. And when you have a new defensive coordinator coming in and new guys that are needing to step up, especially young guys on that defensive line, having Trey Hendrickson around is very valuable to this team's outlook this year. But more importantly, the growth of the pass rushers that you hope will be around beyond the Trey Hendrickson era.
Yeah. It makes sense. I mean, it really does. It's a team that's still in. It's a team that feels like they can challenge to go to a Super Bowl.
They're right there.
With what they have. He's not fake good. I don't think it's been just a lucky timing thing. Right.
I don't think it's empty calories.
Now, I've said it before, not every sack is created equal. He'd probably, if I went back and examined all of them, would they all be him beating his guy? I don't know. It might have been a bad block or a quarterback that had to eat it. I don't know. But either way, I could probably draw something up for him. I think he deserves $30 million a year.
over how many of those years would you guarantee? Because that's the problem.
Okay.
What makes you comfortable, GM Rothman?
I guess what I'm asking you is, are you with me on that he should agree to a $30 million a year salary? Can we agree on the average? 32, 30, like, where are you on what he needs to get an average annual salary?
I would say 32 if I'm Trey.
All right.
That's what I want to start with, yeah.
So if we gave him a 3-year deal, and that would come out to, let's call it $100 million. Sounds great. It's even. Let's do it that way. So 33 and a third.
Yeah.
And so what I would probably guarantee, since I don't do multiple year guarantees for my guys unless their names are Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, because they're younger and as important or more important, then I would probably guarantee a year and a half. I'd probably give you $50 million.
And he's 75. Probably even 80.
I would probably then come back to you and say 60 and we're done.
Trade me.
Okay. Sit out then.
It's fine.
Okay. You're 31. You're going to give up $1 million a week?
Yeah. I've made enough money to do that.
No one else is paying you.
I've made enough money in my career to do that.
Okay. There we are.
Where's the team going without me?
Where we did last year.
Okay. Where's it going to go?
Where we did last year with you.
Where's it going to go with a new defensive coordinator and a whole bunch of rookies you're relying on? How's that outlook feel for you, GM Rothman?
We're going to outscore our defense again, just like we did last year.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to win the close games this year.
Oh, okay.
Or at least a handful.
With what
of them.
defense to win the close games?
We'll worry about that when it happens.
That's the problem right here. That's the problem.
You're asking for 2 years guaranteed.
No doubt.
And they only only want to do one. So I just came to you and said, how about a year and a half?
I want to.
$50 million. You sign right now, you have it.
Give me those other 6 months, GM Rothman. Come on.
Well,
pay the man.
When you said 75, if I came up to 60, that's guaranteeing 2 years. If we paid you $30 million.
I just need more than that.
Well, now you're asking for
more than that. Yeah.
Now you want it all fully guaranteed?
No, not fully.
Okay.
I don't need all the 100 guaranteed. No, I don't need that. 80 of it, though. How's that sound?
May as well guarantee the whole damn thing if we're doing that.
Now we're talking. See? Now we're talking. Now we're GMing.
I think there's some middle ground here. I think we agree on the years, 3. We agree on the salary, $33 million a year.
How long was TJ Watt's deal? Was it 3 or 4?
I don't know.
Let me cook this up.
But he's better than Trey Hendrickson.
He got a 3-year 123. Okay. He got 108 of that fully guaranteed.
Yeah. He's TJ Watt.
And I'm Trey Hendrickson.
Feels like he impacts plays more than Hendrickson does. Just from a stat-wise, Hendrickson was great.
That's
but
all that matters.
I feel like TJ Watt impacts the game.
TJ Watt also plays with Cam Hayward and Alex Highsmith. He also plays with better players than I do.
3-year 123, 108 guaranteed.
Let's do that deal. He's 30.
You just added $23 million to my offer.
Yeah, see? I'm trying to get all the coin I can get.
You added $23 million and $58 million to the guarantee.
Now we're talking, baby. Now we're talking. He's 30, and they did that deal over there in Pittsburgh.
All right, I'm offering you a 3-year, $100 million contract with $50 million guaranteed.
No, we're way off. Man.
Okay.
We're way off.
Do you think that's what they are offering? Does that sound like a Bengal thing? What I just did?
It sounds like that's something they would do. Yeah.
And he wants 60? Or do you think they're not even willing to guarantee 50? You think they're only willing to guarantee the 33?
Ooh, that's tough.
I doubt it.
I doubt it, too.
It sounds like Schefter. By the way, when Schefter said millions, that's what went into my mind, was that they're willing to offer 40 or 45 million guaranteed, and he wants 60.
I really don't think, though, AR, that if you did a 3-year deal with the guy, that if you guaranteed the first 2 years, that's a bad deal. I don't think that's going to come back.
Not at his age.
I don't think so. That's why I don't understand what we're doing.
And I think he should probably do it if that is.
If he got 2 of the 3 guarantees?
Yeah, $60 million. You said you wouldn't sign it for anything less than 75, and then you jumped immediately to 80.
60's a little light when you look at some of the guys that have got new deals, and you're talking, Miles Garrett.
Let me ask you this. Do you think he's asking for, like you said, you brought up Watt, which was good. So Watt was, even though Watt's total was different, at 123, they guaranteed 108.
Yeah.
So if we did this from I'd have to do some quick math on this. I feel like
3 for $100 was your original offer, right?
Yeah, but I wasn't guaranteeing the 100.
But if they offered him 3 for $100, I bet he's digging in on at least
60.
I was saying 80 has to be guaranteed.
2.5 years, almost, or more. That's basically.
Yeah, if I sign a $100 million deal, I need 80 of it guaranteed if I'm Trey Hendrickson. Yeah, 80.
And I think he should agree on 60. Guaranteed. 80. Doesn't mean he's never going to see the third year.
No, I need 80.
If he's still healthy, he'll get to the third year and he'll make that money.
Yeah, but the third year won't be guaranteed, right? You're incentivizing that contract, which at that point I'm not trying to do.
I think you and I are probably in the room right now.
I would love to be a fly on the
I think that we just.
I love it.
I think we just kind of hammered out maybe broad strokes on where this probably is.
But even me saying that he should ask for 80 of 100, he probably thinks I'm crazy because he's saying, Matty, guys, have you seen what I've been doing the last few years?
I love the league in sacks.
Right.
You can't guarantee the whole thing.
Right.
Or get me more than 100.
Right.
Maybe I'm wrong on the 100. Maybe he wants $110, and then he wants 100. Maybe he wants somewhere close to the Watt deal. 115, 90 million guaranteed. Yeah. Like maybe he wants that.
Maybe so.
We come back in 2 minutes. Bill Bender, the Sporting News. Should we buy the fact that this coach can get them to the promised land? We'll ask him next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Upgrade your learning experience during Dell Technologies Back to School event with AI PCs like the Dell 14 Plus featuring an Intel Core Ultra processor starting at $749.99. Supercharge your studies with features like real-time notes transcription, AI accelerated hardware to run multiple apps without slowing down, extended battery life, and more. That's the power of new AI PCs with Intel inside. Discover a smarter way to learn at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Hey there. You hear that? Right. You don't. That's what it's like to order food for your workplace with EasyCater. No hold music while you wait to place your order. No tapping as you type in special dietary instructions or long, complicated searches for options in your budget. Ugh. No crinkling of paper receipts. Just...
Dang, these are some tasty sandwiches.
EasyCater, the better way to order food for work. Order now at EasyCater.com.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced...
My debit card.
Their debit card.
Where did I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and... that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Anthony's tennis shorts were so tight, they had to pixelate his crotch. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Full pixelation. We got our guy, Bill Bender, back at it. Sporting News senior writer and a lot more. Billy, good to have you.
Hey, Anthony, thanks for having me on.
Good to talk with you. College ball. All right. What did Penn State's little run last year do for you? Anything? Are you a big believer in them this year? Are you still holding back from the Franklin effect? Where are you with them? And Aller, how much you buying Penn State?
What makes a successful season for Penn State this year is the question to me. I get a lot. Is it simply beating Ohio State, which they haven't done since 2016? Is it winning the program's first national championship, which they haven't done since 86? Is it a Big Ten title? Is it another semifinal run? I don't know what the answer is. I think for James Franklin, it really does. And I know what station I'm on right now. It starts with beating Ohio State. I mean, they were picked 1 and 2. I put Ohio State in that preseason poll that went out last week from Cleveland.com, but I mean, to me, that's when it unlocks. If they beat the Buckeyes, then I'll be a believer.
You know, Bill, I want to kind of throw that question at you when it comes to Ohio State. When you have a program like the Buckeyes turning the page from winning a national championship and resetting at quarterback, in your opinion, what would define success for Ryan Day and his crew in 2025?
Well, the difference is Ohio State has won 3 national championships this century, and there's never I don't think too many Ohio State fans woke up this morning thinking, hey, if we finish second in the Big Ten and go to the quarterfinals, it's a good season. I mean, it's national championship aspirations. Now, I know how many people they lost to the NFL. I understand that end of it. I mean, it reminds me of LSU in 19 or, Michigan 2 years ago. When you lose that many guys to the NFL, there's going to be some growing pains. Now, the good news for Ohio State, you got the 2 best players in college football, in my opinion. Jeremiah Smith, unbelievable, right? I mean, what are the expectations for him? And then Caleb Downs at safety, you can design an entire unit around him. I heard, I don't know if it was on your station or somewhere else, Sonny Styles talking about Kenyatta Jackson, and the breakout potential there. They have guys. So I think it's a little bit different. Success to me for them is winning a Big Ten championship, which they haven't done in a couple years, beating Michigan and making a deep playoff run. But I don't think am I wrong if I say it's not national championship or bust this year, even though that's always the goal?
I think that'd be fair to say. I also think it'd be fair to say that I think I'm more concerned with their ability to beat Texas than I am their ability to beat Penn State based on a couple things. One, the game with Penn State is not till November. I feel like whatever quarterback Ohio State's going with, if it's Julian Sain, will have a lot of experience under his belt before that game. The opener is a crapshoot just because it is the opener. You have nothing to go on. Where are you on those two? Which one would, I guess, concern you more if you're a Buckeye fan? Of all the games on their schedule.
So when you started talking, I'm thinking, when has Ohio State had an opener of this magnitude? Was it going all the way back to like a kickoff classic against Miami? I mean, it's been a long time since they've played a game of this magnitude right away. And, Arch Manning coming in there. Texas lost a lot of guys to the NFL. I do think it's a blockbuster glamour matchup, but I'm not sure. I mean, the loser will still have a playoff chance. So, and yeah, I would be concerned about Texas. They have a ton of talent. Sark's got it rolling. It is early, like you said, so there is a feeling out period that you don't get if, say, they opened against Grambling or, heaven forbid, my Ohio Bobcats instead of the Texas Longhorns.
When you look at what Indiana did last year, that was a big-time surprise. It was cool to see Kirk Cignetti come onto the scene and really have the Hoosiers shake the room the way that they did. When you look at where they are now, Bill, and their outlook for 2025 and them resetting at quarterback, are you a believer that Indiana can do something similar to what we saw them do a year ago?
Well, if you Google Kirk Cignetti, which he always suggests, right? Like, he wins. He does. And can he win with Fernando Mendoza is the question. I saw some of his comments from Big Ten Media Day last year. He's super confident. So I want to see where they go from here. They do have some really good players on that defensive side. Aiden Fisher's one of the best linebackers in the Big Ten, but can they replicate that? The schedule is much more difficult this year. It doesn't have Ohio State and Michigan, but it is harder. So for them to replicate that run would be quite the story. I know a lot of us placing Indiana with Illinois in that who's this year Indiana conversation because Illinois has so much back. But I think Illinois will be ranked 12th to 13th. Indiana wasn't ranked to start last season.
No, listen, it was quite a story. And even though their schedule wasn't a gauntlet, they showed up every week. They won the games they had to win. And then it was weird the way he coached the Ohio State game, though. I will say that. It for a guy that has that much bravado, it was weird the way he kind of packed it in and made sure that it wasn't as bad as maybe it would have been. But taking nothing, and honestly, if they would, I think, Bill, if you go back, if they would seed them as they rank them, and we had that last year, I think Indiana would have had a home playoff game, maybe against Boise, and it wouldn't have been going to South Bend to try to take down Notre Dame. But are you in the camp that Illinois is this year's Indiana?
I think they've got a lot working in their favor. Luke Altmaier's played a lot of football. Brett Bielema's popping off a little bit too, isn't he? He's had a lot to say this offseason. That Ohio State game will be so interesting for them because over the years, I know when Ohio State goes to Champaign, the score doesn't necessarily reflect what the game was. So that will be their all-in moment. I think if they go 10-2, they should be in. And according to most bowl projections, ours included, it's either going to be 3 or 4 Big Ten teams. And you look at the pecking order, Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon, who's that fourth team going to be? We've talked about Indiana. We've talked about Illinois. Could it be Michigan with the questions that they have? I think there's a lot of unknowns with Michigan. But if their offense is as bad as it was last year with Bryce Underwood or whoever plays quarterback, I would be stunned.
USC, Bill, what is going on with Lincoln Riley and that football program? Are they at a point to where they're just going to be out of sight, out of mind, or is there something there to where they could pop off a little bit in a good way out there in La La Land?
I had a conversation in the Sporting News offices last week. I got to go down there because I was in Charlotte, and we had is USC still a blue blood? Came up. And I think the answer is yes, but I don't know why that they aren't better than they are. They should be better at recruiting. I think their defense was still bad. You go back to that Michigan game last year, and their season turned on a dime after that. It really did. And I wonder if Lincoln Riley, how they handle all the travel. And, his thoughts on Notre Dame, and I've been pretty clear about this, and it's not a hot take, I don't think, but if I'm Notre Dame or if I'm USC, do I drop Notre Dame because I have to go play Michigan and I got to go play Ohio State? I got to go play Penn State. I think that's a very real conversation with them that goes against the tradition of college football. But from a pragmatic standpoint, how many trips east do you want to take if you're playing in California? I know they signed up for it, but it's part of the deal.
Yep, they took the money, and now their players and coaches have to go along for the ride. But it is a great conversation. Bill, thanks, bud. We will definitely hit you up very soon. Be well.
Hey, you guys too. Thanks so much for having me. Take care.
You got it, Bill Bender. Sporting News on the Bryan Heating Cooling Systems Fangus Hotline. All right, you want to keep rolling along yourself. You're feeling tired, can't focus, no energy to get off the couch. You're not living, you're existing. I get it. It affects all aspects of your life, your relationships, your job. If you have kids, this is not how you want them to experience you. It doesn't have to be this way. So picture this, getting your life back with testosterone therapy at Low T Center. There's never been a better time. This is it. Go get your T level tested. Visit a Low T Center, take the test, get those results back very fast. The test is still free. Time's running out on that. I don't want you to miss your chance. And if you need the help, they've got it there for you. They'll guide you through it. They've got the experience, more than a decade of experience helping guys live their best lives. Most major insurance is accepted. The treatment costs then become minimal. Low T Center is going to give you the power to take control of your health. Whether it's the custom dose TRT, you'll have the freedom to choose between the in-center care or medically monitored treatment with testosterone delivered to your home. Tell your friends, get a referral, get them in there. Start living well and feeling your best. Book the appointment now at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com. We come back with a Buckeye Bulletin. More with Jack Sawyer and talking about the streak to that team up north. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Newman Roofing, as part of their 2025 Commitment to Community initiative, is proud to sponsor the Fan and 10 TV's Beat the Heat fan drive, benefiting Life Care Alliance. You can help Ohio's most vulnerable residents deal with the extreme heat this summer. How can you help? Purchase new box fans and bring them to the nearest Franklin County Fire Station, or you can buy online and ship fans directly to Life Care Alliance. The collection and distribution of fans is to assist residents who are at risk of heat stroke or heat exhaustion. For more information, go to lifecarealliance.org.
You know, it's not the shoes. It's what you can put in them that makes all the difference. Hey, it's Anthony. I've been a customer at the Good Feet store for a while now, and I'm all about my personally fit arch supports. They support my feet better than all the insoles I've jammed into my shoes over the years. And my Good Feet arch supports help me in a ton of ways, from overall support and balance to stabilizing my heels, and the fact they distribute my body weight, especially when I'm golfing. I literally have spring in my step now. Check them out for yourself. The free fitting is designed to help them understand you, your pain, and your discomfort. It's simple. Just stop by the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway or Stringtown Road in Grove City. You don't need an appointment, but you can certainly schedule one very easily online. Get back to living the life you love with the Good Feet store. For more than 30 years, they've taken great pleasure in helping thousands discover the comfort they've been dreaming of, just like me. Get professionally fitted at goodfeet.com.
Hugs from patients, like Patrick. It's something QC Kinetics medical professionals experience every day.
I hugged them. You should hug somebody who does that for you. They gave me my life back, and I really didn't know where I was going to go because I was definitely afraid of having a knee replacement done.
No surgery, no downtime with QC Kinetics regenerative treatments. They give patients relief from joint pain using their own healing properties to repair and restore damaged tissue. And the results? Well, that's why we see a lot of hugs at QC Kinetics.
Everything is back that I thought I was never going to be able to do again. I'm still smiling, and sometimes it gets emotional. I get a tear in my eye because of how I was before I went in there.
Those smiles and hugs never get old at QC Kinetics. It means patients are finally getting relief. And now, it's your turn. Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation and see if you're a good candidate for these amazing treatments.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Join Timmy Hall for Buckeye Replay this Saturday at 1. Classic games of Ohio State football history.
Sponsored by Weber Grills.
This week, Ohio State and Tennessee. Playoff action in the shoe. The Fan. The Fan.
A Progressive Home and Auto Bundle can protect you round the clock, but we can't protect you from those painful moments in sports.
I can't believe they're moving the team to another city.
True, but you'll never forget all the joy they brought into your life.
Joy? They made the playoffs twice in 50 years.
Gosh, those 2 times were pretty great, weren't they?
How would I know? I wasn't even born yet.
Just think of all the free time you'll have on game days.
Those games were the highlight of my week.
Well, at least your home and auto are protected with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Rita, Jorge, let's bring the nail gun over here.
Jose stands tall atop his sustainable flooring company.
Totally. It's renewable and moisture resistant, but we have several green options too. Or we got some beautiful reclaimed oak.
But floored by his success, he needs to hire more installers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
All right, Buckeye Bulletin time. We continue our run through the watch lists. Maddie loves the watch lists.
That time of the year, I'm a sucker for watch lists and mock drafts. Run them. Give them to me, baby. When you get the watch list, though, AR, you know, football, for me, it's here already. I know you're trying to let it marinate just a little bit, but these are the things that I like. You know, the watch list, we'll get the preseason poll. That's a few weeks away, but you can smell it in the atmosphere.
Yeah, you and I were not in the Rittenberg obliterate the preseason polls.
Yeah, I'm out on that.
I need a little more on that. I need to talk to him and ask him, you need to obliterate him. I think where he was going with it was that he feels it does unfairly create narratives around teams they haven't either earned or don't deserve in the negative way either.
But you and I look back last year, AR, at the initial AP poll for 2024, and it was pretty spot on with the teams that were in the mix at the end of the year. They got it right at the beginning of the year.
For the most part.
Yeah, I mean, the Michigan one was a tough look for them. They had them at 9, but outside of that, I think they did a pretty good job framing where the season could go.
They really didn't know because of the expanded And so you had teams like Indiana and Arizona State and teams you didn't, they were nowhere to be found
Hoosiers,
in the preseason.
Baby. Hoosiers, baby. Mendoza, get you a jersey, AR. Get you a jersey. He said he's looking
not a
good.
Jersey guy.
Yeah, you're not. You're not.
They're kind of, they're heavy. They're, you know, if it's hot out, you don't want to be wearing that.
Heavy.
They're just.
We wearing pads too with it?
Give me
a old fit on?
Give me a half jersey mesh if possible.
Okay. You want like a
old school.
What do they call it? The jerseys, like a t-shirt jersey.
Boy, that was the greatest thing ever.
The jersey?
A half mesh jersey. If you were a football guy. All right, wearing the turf shoes, like a nice Nike turf shoe with a pair of jeans.
You're a man that likes to ski in his
back
jeans,
in the 90s.
You know?
Yeah, but a nice turf shoe, walking to class in a nice little. The nubs on the bottom. You feel like a star. Hopefully somebody, Maddie, doesn't rip them off your feet.
Why'd they do my boy Roman Reigns like that last night? Come on, Roman. We got to get right. SummerSlam is this Saturday, baby.
All right, where was I? Oh, yes.
Oh,
watch lists.
Yeah.
By the way, it's somewhat of a weird, underrated. Listen, I like silly movies. That's why when I was critiquing Happy Gilmore 2, no, I wasn't going into it thinking this was some sort of Oscar. I just felt like, because I like silly movies, it just was. It didn't have enough.
And it's very hard to follow up classics.
Yeah.
Like it really is. When you knock it out of the park with that first movie, it's a tough task, man.
So I was going to say, kind of an underrated, fun little comedy is The Watch.
The Watch. I don't know if I've ever even heard of that.
Vince Vaughn, Jonah Hill, Ben Stiller.
Okay, I'm in. Off the names. What are they, like security? What are they doing?
It's a fictional town in Ohio because of Vaughn's kind of affection for Ohio.
Yeah.
And in his man cave in the movie, he's got a Blue Jackets framed jersey, other things. Yeah.
That works.
No, it's about these guys who Ben Stiller is managing a Costco. And
love Costco.
There's aliens have invaded Costco because they have everything.
So they're eating all the samples,
and so they're kind of, and they form a neighborhood watch because one of their coworkers gets killed by an alien at Costco, and I think it's actually a fun little ride. The Watch, it's actually not bad. It's classic Vaughn.
They got a
lot of his.
Yeah.
He's carried this one. It's not even an ad lib anymore. When he says, get hopped up, make a few bad decisions. I think I've heard that like in 3 or 4 different of his movies. Like he carries some certain really good crutch lines into these movies. Anyway, The Watch that I'm speaking of now is, let's see who they added. 4 more Buckeyes have been pulled into the honors here.
Okay.
And so let's attack them. We have unanimous All-American safety Caleb Downs, the Bronco Nagurski Trophy.
Yeah, he's built different.
Yes.
He's a dude.
We have an Outland Trophy. Tegra Shabola and Edric Houston have been named to the Outland Trophy watch list for those, interior linemen. And let's see who else.
Jeremiah?
Oh, no. Sonny Styles is on a list here.
Excited to see what he can do. Nagurski? Is that which one?
A Lot Impact Trophy and the Bronco Nagurski.
Got you.
So he's on there. There are actually a lot of, I lied to you. There are several guys on different watch lists, but those are the ones I have today. Caleb, Edric, Sonny, and Tegra.
And you get Edric Houston to really take his game to higher levels. That's a great place to start, right? Because that D-line, for me, it's the one unit of the defense right now where I'm like, be in wait-and-see mode to see what they get there and the static they can create within the pocket, because the guys last year just did an awesome job in doing so. And you had pressure coming from different areas on last year's defense down in the trenches, whether it was the ends or Tyleek Williams in the middle of that defensive line. Like, that's just a great tool to have if you are a defensive coordinator. So in time, that's the hope, is that Matt Patricia can call upon multiple guys, whether it's in the middle of the D-line or on the outside, to make some noise. Because if you get that, then a guy like Caleb Downs, who's great already, he becomes an even scarier playmaker for you on the back end of your defense because quarterbacks will start panicking a little bit because they know they're just not going to have enough time to really go through all their progressions or pat the ball or whatever it may be.
All right, let's get back to Jack Sawyer real fast from the Cam Hayward podcast. Here he is. Let's start with how he feels about the Michigan game.
Everybody in Columbus wanted Coach Day gone, said they were done with the year. Doesn't matter what we do, leading, which is craziness. I mean, Cam will tell you some people who say that they'd rather go 1-11 and just beat the team up north are insane. You know what I mean? So that's just crazy. I got a couple friends like that. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But I mean, just after that game, we're at rock bottom. You couldn't get really any lower, and we knew that we had way more in the tank than what we put on the field against them. So. After that game, we had a leadership committee meeting with Coach Day and big team meeting for a few hours, and just put all of our chips on the table and win the playoffs, saying we're going to let it all fly and let it all hang out. And that's kind of what we did. Offense opened up, started throwing the ball downfield. Defense, Coach Noel started letting us get after the quarterback a little more, and just kind of going after guys, and that was really the only choice we had. And obviously, it paid off, thankfully.
It was an attitude change. It was a philosophy change. But this is where I would debate Jack a little bit on this. There are some who hate losing more than they enjoy winning. And the Michigan loss, as they pile up, can have that effect on people who have lived and died with the rivalry their entire lives. I know it sounds insane to him as a player and maybe to some fans, but there are some people that just hate losing that game more than the enjoyment they get out of winning others. That's just...
I don't see it that way at all. You won it all. Fine. You lost to Michigan.
This was before they had won it all.
I know, but I'm just saying, I don't... We went down that whole spiel. Yeah. You won the whole darn thing. That's what you play for. Now it's about getting off the mat and correcting that wrong. And it sounds like, Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles, Jeremiah Smith, those guys from last year are laser focused on getting that done and not looking back at last year, something that's going to bleed into this year. So that was good to hear at Big Ten Media Day.
To his credit, no one thought that they would win it all after they lost to Michigan. So the mindset he was talking about after Michigan, where people said, I want the coach fired, you have to transport yourself back to the confidence or lack thereof of the fandom, maybe not the team, but the fan of where the program was after that loss. And that's what made the run so damn special. And no one will ever be able to take that away. That is today's Buckeye Bulletin. All right, Maddie, SportsCenter update here, top of the hour. We come back third hour, hot seat time, and as a certain coach reserved his chair. We'll tell you next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
T-Bone and Tyvus are everything you want in a delicious breakfast. Lots of empty calories, no nutritional value.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-426-VEIN. That's 614-426-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
Stories like this are really who we are. Hi, it's Steve Lindsay with Lindsay Honda. One of my son's coaches was having an issue with his transmission in his Honda. He had gotten quoted almost $9,000. He's like, can you help me out on the price on getting one through your Honda dealership? And I said, yeah. I said, but let's bring the vehicle in and let's make sure you, in fact, do need a transmission. We did a complete flush on his transmission and a software update on it, and that fixed his problem. And this guy has an extra $8,500 in his pocket because he reached out and I was able to connect him with my staff. We're going to take a step back and to make sure we're actually treating the core issue, not just the symptom.
This July at Lindsay Honda, our famous Cash for Clunkers is back during our Honda Summer event. Get up to $3,500 minimum for your trade and use it for a down payment, negative equity, or keep the cash. Only at Lindsay Honda.
It's child's play to donate your car, truck, RV, or boat to Ronald McDonald House Charities of Central Ohio. They'll pick it up free of charge, steer you through the paperwork, and a hefty tax deduction rolls your way as you help provide a home away from home for families of seriously ill hospitalized children. For more information about donating your vehicle to Ronald McDonald House Charities, visit rmhc-centralohio.org or call 614-CARS-HELP. That's 614-CARS-HELP.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT and cybersecurity? Attend classes live, online, or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
Hey there. You hear that? Right. You don't. That's what it's like to order food for your workplace with EasyCater. No hold music while you wait to place your order. No tapping as you type in special dietary instructions or long, complicated searches for options in your budget. No crinkling of paper receipts. Just...
Dang, these are some tasty sandwiches.
EasyCater, the better way to order food for work. Order now at easycater.com.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where did I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound, that's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A., member FDIC.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here. American Family Insurance can help protect your dream home for whatever comes next. You can live in your own oasis or your own clubhouse. Whatever you choose, get the right coverage. Save up to 23% by bundling home and auto. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI and its operating companies. 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, Joe Fortenbaugh here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with the promo code JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. Up at Progressive Field this evening, the Cleveland Guardians taking on the Colorado Rockies at 6:40. Logan Allen starts for the Guards opposite Tanner Gordon. Down at Great American Ballpark, the Cincinnati Reds continuing their series with the Los Angeles Dodgers at 7:10. A really nice pitching matchup in this one as Nick Lodolo takes on Tyler Glasnow. Coverage over on ESPN Columbus begins at 6:40. We'll join it in progress here on The Fan at 8. The Columbus Clippers down in Florida taking on Jacksonville at 7:05. Over at lower.com tonight, the Crew taking on Toluca in the Leagues Cup. Match start time is at 7. In the NFL, the Colts have signed tackle Bernard Ryman to a 4-year, $100 million deal. Cowboys cornerback Kalen Carson will miss 4 to 6 weeks with a knee injury. And the New York Jets have signed kicker Nick Folk. Breaking sports news as it happens on The Fan.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and I feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, final hour of the program. Jeff Lloyd, Orange and Brown report.
Oh, yeah. And also, we're giving away
2:30
a $50 gift card to Skyline Chili because Skyline AR is introducing new chicken chili to their menu, the same legendary Skyline taste you know, now with a new protein option. It's available at Columbus area Skyline locations only while supplies last. So stick with us. Last hour of the show, $50 gift card to Skyline Chili.
If the Bengals don't make the playoffs again, It feels like Zack Taylor would be on the hot seat.
Oh, so you're saying if they miss the postseason, going into next year, the seat would be sizzling. You know how you go to Chili's or something, they bring out the fajitas and you can hear them coming out of the kitchen?
No, I think it's sizzling now.
Okay. So you think he's already on the fajita train?
They already forced him to make the change defensively, so he has one scapegoat. He already got Sweet Lou is gone.
Yeah.
So they gave him one. They gave him the one,
and that's usually like the process.
We give you the okay. It's not you. We're not firing the players.
Mm-hmm.
Make a change. Defense was weak, and you and I are both here to say to put that all on Lou felt ridiculous, but this is how it works.
Yeah.
You have to appease the fans. The fans put pressure on the front office. The front office puts pressure on the staff.
You brought up a really good, interesting angle on this, AR, because like if you are the movers and shakers of the Bengals front office right now, you know what you have in Zack Taylor, and that's a really good offensive mind. But it's more than that. And when you're in this window and you have your offensive weapons that are in their prime and will be for the next few years, and Joey BT and Jamar, you don't want to waste those years. And so as a head coach, you got to show to the front office that I can be more than just an offensive mind, or make the right calls to go out and get a guy that can get us back to where we were.
I don't blame him, though. That's the whole weird point of this.
But it falls at his feet.
It does,
it falls at his feet. But there's only so much he can do with the options that he has. I hear what you're saying, but you led us right where this is going, and what history has shown us is that when coaches start to make these changes, maybe there's some chirping going on that said, hey, you need to get this in order, or we may have to start thinking of something else. Because when the Bengals went to the Super Bowl in that window of time, their defense, I don't think we would tab them as elite, but they were really good, and they were top half of the league. And when you have the dudes that the Bengals have on offense, that's all you need. That's all you need is a defense that can get off the field every now and then and get the ball back to Joey B and allow those guys to cook. And so now there's a ton of pressure on Al Golden to do that. Like, we've been consumed so much with the Trey Hendrickson and Samar Stewart situation, and rightfully so. But when you're changing over a whole new defense, that's a lot. It's a lot of moving pieces on the fly. And maybe the offense early on in the season will be able to cover up some of that for the defense before they find their groove in the middle and the back half of the year. But I think for Zack Taylor, he probably feels some of that because it's one of those things that we talk about in sports. When you come out of the gate the way that he did and you set the bar as high as he and the franchise did, the only way that you're going to make everybody happy is to win it all. And so that's where he is at. And one of my friends is a Bengals fan, and he's like, hey, we don't make it to the postseason again, we got to find a new head coach to get things in order. So that's out there for some Bengal fans.
I think it's a little bit unfair. And if they hamstring him again with no Trey Hendrickson, then it's going to be really unfair because he can't be expected to be able to outscore his defense again. And I just went back because I'm glad you mentioned the Super Bowl year. So in 2021, points per game given up, where do you think they were?
I'm going to say,
and I'm going to give you the last year. Last year they gave up 25.5
that's tough.
Points per game, and it wasn't even. That's not the worst. I mean, the Browns were worse.
Who was the worst in the league?
Panthers.
Okay.
Then Dallas.
What Panthers?
Tennis.
What Panthers give up a week?
31.5.
Ooh-wee. I'm going to say in 2021, the Cincinnati defensive unit was giving up 17 a game.
So 17 a game would have made them the best in the league, which is interesting.
They weren't that, right?
The Bills were 17.
Okay.
Cincinnati Bengals were middle of the pack, 22.1.
That's all they need, AR.
Yeah. Now let's go to their yards given up rushing per game in the Super Bowl year. 102.5.
You can work with that.
Work with it. It's top 5.
Work with that, baby.
Let's see what they were giving up last year. 125. Bottom third. You ask for passing yards per game. I heard you.
Yeah.
Last year, Bengals were giving up 223.5 per game.
So you combine
That's
that with
bottom third
with the rushing yards that they allowed too, and you can't live that
Here's
way.
the weird part. They were giving up almost 250 a game in 21. But their rush defense was so much better. Yeah. And if we just do total yards per game defensively, let's see where we can get them in that. So 2021 defense, yards per game total, they were giving up 350. Mm-hmm. That was in 21 in their Super Bowl year. Last year, same.
You got to be dominant at something.
Yes, and they were dominant. They were a top 5 rushing defense in 2021.
Right. And like there's so many lanes on defense to where you can really make some money. And it's obviously points allowed, but it's red zone defense too. Like if you have one of those defense that has that bend but don't break vibe to it, and teams can get up and down the field between the 20s, but when you get in the red zone area, you squeeze teams, and more times than not, you're giving up 3 than 7. You can work that way too. And so that's what Al Golden's got to find, is just the balance of what he can do with his personnel to pair well with what they have going on offense. The dream is you have a dominant defensive line, because you're going in and week out confident that there aren't a whole bunch of defenses that can stop us from doing what we do, because we're just that darn good and have that much talent on the offensive side of the ball. So on defense, because we're probably going to be leading in third quarters and fourth quarters of these games, we got to hunt.
Yeah.
And so when you have Shamar and Joseph Asai and Miles Murphy and Trey Hendrickson, that unit can really put this team over the top in 2025 and beyond.
Glad you said that, because I think even with Trey, they still need to improve their pass rush. Even with it. They brought in TJ Slayton, big dude, 330, big run stopping nose tackle, 5th rounder. Where is the interior pass rusher? And if you don't have Trey, it's really tough.
Who's the kid they drafted from Michigan? Jenkins? I think they like him. I think there's some promise there with him, AR, on the defensive line. Chris Jenkins.
Sorry, I was just looking at
you're good. I was just thinking of some of those guys that they're going to be relying on to do that. Like you got, the Chris Jenkins of the world, BJ Hill of the world. Like that's what it's that unit for me that really can make Cincinnati a true contender this year. Because right now, I don't know. Are they a true contender? The idea of them and where they've been in the past would tell us yes.
Yeah, overall, it feels like they can show up with anybody. Let's look at the quarterbacks who they'll be facing this year about getting after the passer. At Cleveland, not a big worry. Jacksonville at home. Okay, it's not like Trav's all-world yet.
But the Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter duo, but be fun to see how they match up with that.
At Minnesota, essentially a rookie in JJ.
But explosive offense with a really good play caller.
At Denver.
Good offense.
Coming back, Bo Nix. Home against Detroit. We know their offense, Goff. At Green Bay. Not easy. Home against Pittsburgh. We'll see. The Jets. Not a worry, technically, with Fields. We don't know. Chicago. Not technically a worry yet with Caleb.
And real quick.
That's before the bye week. And that's 9 weeks before the bye.
I like the Bears, but their process, I think, will take some time. So I think catching the Bears early, I think, is where you're going to want to catch them, because I think Brent Johnson will get things in order, but that'll be maybe latter portion of the season.
Here's probably the thing that jumps into the forefront of my mind. Zack Taylor is a perennial bad starting coach.
No doubt.
This is not the season to start poorly.
No, because
after the bye, at Pittsburgh, New England at home, you get Lamar twice, Josh Allen on the road. Your final 3 games are very doable. It's that run of Baltimore, Buffalo, New England, Baltimore, Buffalo, Baltimore, and at Pittsburgh, all coming out of the bye.
That's huge.
That's it, because you can handle Miami, Arizona, and Cleveland. You can go toe-to-toe with...
Don't sleep on that New England team this year.
No, that's why I mentioned them.
Yeah, New England team. I'm seeing a vision over there in Foxborough. I just think coming out of week 2, that's where they're going to make their money. If they're going to get into the postseason, for me, I think we'll look back at the Vikings, Broncos, Lions, Packers window and say they did some good work there.
This is the year. If there was a year, the Bengals should start 3-1. This is it. They could. And if they do that, then all of a sudden they're right there.
3-1? I don't know.
They should beat Cleveland and Jacksonville.
And
then split the other 2.
They're on the road, though. That's a tough sled, man. At Minnesota, at Denver. It's a really good team.
All right, we'll come back. Little pre-snapper. Is he a top 10 quarterback, and does it make you mad? That's next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. I just freaked the hell out of someone. The Fan.
This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we help Chad.
Hi, I'm Chad. I've been taking the low T treatment at Tri-State Men's Health for a little under a year now. So I was really just struggling with finding the energy to accomplish the things I wanted to do every day. By the end of the workday, I was very drained and tired and found it hard to concentrate and get my job done, and was looking for something to kind of get that edge back. Once I started taking the treatment, I felt probably within the first 2 to 3 weeks more energy. And the thing that really I noticed right away was sleeping. Now I get a solid 8 hours. I'm going on vacation. I'm enjoying myself. So men out there, if you're struggling with any of the symptoms I was, low energy, brain fog, lack of sleep, I would highly recommend you call Tri-State Men's Health. You won't regret it.
Thanks, Chad. It's true. Low T therapy will likely change your life. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
Central Ohio contractors and homeowners, tired of overpriced, low-quality cabinets? Well, it's time to upgrade your cabinet game. 3D Cabinetry is your go-to for fast, hassle-free service and cabinets you can trust from order to install. 3D Cabinetry delivers fully assembled all-wood affordable cabinets. No delays, no stress. Just quality craftsmanship delivered on time every time. Get started with your free consultation today at 3dcabinetry.net. That's 3dcabinetry.net, where quality meets affordability and reliability.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived, the only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, and hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Dick's Sporting Goods, we have always believed sport has the power to change lives. Community happens here. Change happens here. Sport happens here. Introducing the all-new Dick's House of Sport, bringing new experiences, new services, and unrivaled selection from the top brands to a new place Polaris can call home. Featuring a rock wall, a HitTrax multi-sport cage, and 3 golf hitting bays. Dick's House of Sport at Polaris Fashion Place. Grand opening celebration August 15th through August 17th.
Now open. Zumbizi Bay's brand new conservation tower. 3 slides, 1 tower, and endless thrills. Only at
Zumbizi Bay.
Plan your visit at zumbizibay.com.
We at The Fan have created a show where you can be a homer, a hater, or whatever you want to be. Your family may not listen to you, but we will. Sundays at 11, it's The Fan Call-In Show presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus. You're welcome.
Now is a great time to schedule a back-to-school dental appointment. Dr. Hal Jeter, president of the Ohio Dental Association, is here to tell us more.
Your child's teeth and gums need the right food, nutrition, and vitamins to grow strong and stay healthy. Help them maintain good oral health by brushing every morning and night, flossing, visiting the dentist twice a year, and developing good eating habits. As kids head back to school, it's important to know that foods and drinks high in sugar, acidity, and other cavity-promoting substances are often low in nutritional value, and they have the potential to create plaque capable of damaging tooth enamel. A back-to-school dental appointment can diagnose any potential problems and improve your child's oral health. Ohio Dental Association member dentists are located throughout the state, are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care, are bound by the highest ethical standards, and obtain superior ongoing education and training. Ask if your dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association so you know you are being treated by the best. To find an ODA dentist in your area, visit oda.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see partly to mostly sunny skies today, but another hot and humid day ahead with a heat advisory in place. Afternoon highs getting into the low 90s, but our feels like will approach 100 degrees in many spots. For tonight, partly cloudy overnight with lows down into the 70s and light winds. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Leads.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. Or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, Ice, little Bet365 time.
Let's get into it, AR, because at Bet365, we don't do ordinary. Bet365 is the official sports betting partner of the Cleveland Guardians. Make sure you're keeping an eye out for the Cleveland Guardians Boost and Super Boost day of game. So they have some great offers for you at Bet365. Download the Bet365 app today.
All right, so I was a little hit and miss yesterday. Had the Reds plus 4.5. That came through. So my good friend Matty Ice told me to take the under on Chase Burns, and he burned us both with 10 Ks. Lost on the Harris total bases. So I'm going to do a little pitching prop here. How do you feel about Logan Allen tonight against the Rockies, taking him over 4.5 Ks?
I love it. The Rockies stink. They've won 28 games this year. Get after it.
Well, dude, they took apart. By the way, Cade Smith, great audition to take over from Clase A. Well done.
Man.
Does it sound like I picked him up? Because it is true.
Yeah. Are they going to trade Stephen Kwan this week?
I doubt it.
I would be surprised if they did, but that's out there in the atmosphere. I wouldn't trade that dude at all. All right, so you're going Logan Allen tonight?
I'm going Logan Allen over 4.5 Ks, and I'm pairing it with Seth Lugo of the Royals against the Braves, also over 4.5 Ks, which gets me to plus 213.
Okay. I'm going out to San Diego, and I'm looking at Juan Soto for an anytime home run tonight against his former team. Man, it feels like years ago that he played there, but it wasn't that long ago. Plus 280 for Juan Soto tonight for the New York Mets out there on the left coast for an anytime home run. Whatever the moment. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Again, download the Bet365 app today. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. You must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply. Offer subject to meeting qualifying criteria.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
What do you guys think Juan Soto makes per game? Just per ball game.
162 of these things.
Yeah, go off that.
Probably about 300K a night.
Yeah, pretty close. He's a $47 million guy.
Yeah.
You did some great math on that. I've got 290,000, 123 and 47 cents.
And in that sport, it is all guaranteed. No matter what happens to me.
Guy drives to the ballpark tonight. Where are they playing?
In San Diego.
He gets to go to work in San Diego.
And no matter what happens, I can go 0 for 4 with 4 Ks tonight.
He gets to drive to work in San Diego, hang out at the park, maybe sign an autograph, maybe not.
Yeah.
Have a pregame meal, hang out with the fellas, take some BP,
a little media,
shag a few flies, maybe do a pregame interview, maybe not, stretch, maybe take a nap.
Oh, that's got to happen.
And then make $290,000 and doing what you love to do.
It's good living.
Yeah. He's earned it.
The contract
I forgot to tell you, he's 26 years old.
Yep. So that means there's another contract probably coming his way at some point in time.
All right. Let's play the Ryan Clark clip. I wonder if does this make Browns fan mad?
What? Oh,
that Baker Mayfield is a perceived top 10 quarterback.
Baker Mayfield is a top 10 quarterback in this league. Baker Mayfield is a guy with the live arm, with the toughness that makes you believe. Baker Mayfield is a football player. And when I say that, I know people at home are going to be like, duh, he gets paid to play football. No, not all quarterbacks are seen as football players. Not all quarterbacks are embraced in the locker room as one of us. You go back to Baker Mayfield running over Bobby Wagner on a scramble last year, and the energy that his team received from that's the sort of player that he is. Here's another reason people aren't buying the Tampa Bay Buccaneers like they should be this year. They don't remember this team winning a playoff game 2 years ago, going in Detroit and giving that team hell. Or last year, a fourth down run by Jaden Daniels being needed for the Washington Commanders to get a win on the road in Tampa Bay. This is a team that's been on the cusp for the last 2 years. Now you think about some of the pieces they've added, the confidence in their quarterback and the way that he plays, and Todd Bowles with another year to understand winning at a high level at the head coach position. This is a team you better be extremely scared of.
All right, many things there for me. And I can't wait to hear what you have to say about this. The most important thing for a quarterback is having a very good offensive line.
100%.
He has a fantastic one.
Yep.
You also need weapons. I think he's had a couple of pretty high-end dudes, really. And I like the fact that he is what Ryan says he is, which is kind of a baller football player. His mobility has always been looked at as a positive.
It's fine.
And that he's a mobile guy and he plays pretty physical. But he also takes a lot of risks. Sacks, picks.
Gunslinger.
You have to be ready for that with Baker Mayfield. He takes a lot of risk with that playing style. And so his aggressiveness with talent has paid off. And it's not a mystery. He's not a big guy. He's 6'1", but he can sling the football. I think elite scheme. I think that with Liam Cohn, he was phenomenal. And with Canales, he was good. He's had good people around him. He's a gamer.
Yeah.
And he's actually turned himself into a very, very good quarterback. The difference between film and stats is he's probably that guy. I don't know if he's ever going to be a stat monster based on the negative plays. But film and what you see, he's living up to what a lot of people thought he could be. And I'm not disagreeing with him. I just think you have to pair it with high-end receivers, great O-line. He's had good coordinators. And he's taken advantage of it.
He has, and he was cooking last year. I mean, back-to-back years in Tampa where he's thrown for 4,000 plus. I mean, last year he threw for 41 touchdowns.
Yeah.
But what came along with that was also 16 interceptions. And that's the Baker Mayfield experience, is that he's going to see things and think that he can fit the football into some of these windows that you probably can't, but he's going to get away with some of those too. So it's the give and take when you have a guy like Baker. You asked the question before. Rhyme Time played the clip from Ryan Clark. Are Browns fans mad about Baker Mayfield and where he is? Have to imagine there's some of that in there because he's the one that got away. You're in a relationship sometimes, and who you're with, they do things with you that annoy you, and they go on to be with somebody else, and they don't do those things anymore. They got those things cleaned up. There's some of that going on with Baker. It was like, man, we had that guy in our building. We drafted him very high. The franchise moved on, and now he's succeeding elsewhere. So I don't blame Browns fans at all for being a little bitter about what's happened for Baker. But Baker's figured it out, man, and he has Tampa as a pretty legitimate threat in the NFC.
I've seen him make some very, very good throws and into those windows. And a lot of this is you have to take the good with the bad. And with the Browns, did he play hurt? Yeah, he did. Mm-hmm. And he took risks that cost him his health. Now he's bounced back. He's had a great second act, and I don't think you can take it away from him. But I do think, now, if you throw him on the Browns right now, is he that successful?
No, because he doesn't have Mike Evans and Godwin and those guys.
He doesn't have
matters.
Absolutely.
And like you said, Tristan Wirfs and that crew throw you out of the club.
Yeah. So while Ryan Clark says he's a top 10 quarterback, I don't know. Talent-wise, it's probably close. We could go through the list. Yeah. I don't know if I get him in my top 10. But from a all-around fit, scheme,
he's in a great
gunsling is in a great place. If you want to go to a great place, that's Germain Honda of Dublin. And talk to Rich. And the summer event is cruising along. They've got some great deals. And I will tell you, when I look at some of them, they really jump off the page. And I know people like the new Civic, the Sport Hatchback, and you can lease it from $279. And the 2025 new Accord LX, you can lease it from $249 a month. 2025 new Pilot Sport all-wheel drive, lease it from $429 a month. Honda Passport RTL all-wheel drive, lease it from $449 a month. These deals are all there for the taking. They've got hundreds of pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Same-day service, no appointment necessary. See the dealer for all the full details and the disclosures. Talk to my friend Jerry. See their crew, meet their team, and find yourself the best vehicle for you. Germain Honda of Dublin. They're on Sawmill Road, just south of 270. We come back with Jeff Lloyd from the Orange and Brown Report. He's embedded with the team. He has a good feeling on how this quarterback juggling circus will end up. We'll talk to him in 2 minutes. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. My good friends over at Sleep Better Columbus want you to know that if you're 65 or older, enjoying those golden years, but maybe you're dealing with restless nights, you need to listen up. Are you tossing and turning, struggling with sleep apnea, and that leaves you wiped out during the day? Well, it's time to reclaim your rest with Dr. Mark Levy at Sleep Better Columbus. As a leading provider in non-surgical sleep apnea treatments, Dr. Levy helps you breathe easier and sleep deeper with custom oral appliances, a comfortable alternative to CPAP. The best part is that Sleep Better Columbus is in network with most medical insurance plans and is a proud Medicare provider, so your coverage can work seamlessly with Sleep Better Columbus. And as we head toward the end of the year, don't let those benefits go unused. You don't want to wait to use your deductible. Act now to make the most of it with Sleep Better Columbus. Call Sleep Better Columbus today at 800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com. Once again, that number, 800-MORE-SLEEP or sleepbettercolumbus.com for your consultation. Sleep better, live better. You've earned it.
Don't sweat it. Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix your air conditioner fast. 1-800-COOLING.
Parents, are your teens good with money? No. Switch to Huntington Bank and let's teach them. They get their own card, which they can add to their digital wallet, and you can monitor and set spending limits. Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
Hi, welcome to IKEA. Hi, I'm in a whirlwind of college prep. Gotcha. We've got affordable solutions to create the perfect college living space. Great. And visit our website to see how verified college students with an IKEA family account can receive a one-time use 15% off coupon. Nice. You guys think of everything. Pretty much. Offer ends 9/30/25. Valid ID required. Discount applied proportionally across items purchased as shown on receipt. See IKEA-USA.com/ready-for-college for complete terms.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
A perfect afternoon parlay. This is Rothman and Ice.
All right, the Brown circus of juggling quarterbacks continues, now out of necessity, with Pickett nursing the hammy. Our friend Jeff Lloyd, the best, joining us now from the Orange and Brown Report. He's up there in Cleveland. Good to have you, my man. How you feeling?
We are doing good, guys. How is everybody doing?
Outstanding. All right. Are they going to carry, what percentage do you put on them carrying Flacco, Pickett, Dillon, and Shedeur into the season?
Unless, something strange happens, I don't know that necessarily this team is going to go this route. However, you do have to keep in mind there is a possibility the Browns could have a couple of players, one currently not under contract, one linebacker, Devin Bush, who is under contract, who could be facing possibly a suspension. So maybe that could tilt it. But, if you have four quarterbacks, I just don't necessarily – this team with so many other – roster battles and, other positional groups that seem like they're set. I don't know if you want to move on from somebody that's probably going to be a regular contributor for 17 games just for the sake of saying you can keep the four quarterbacks. And the ideal thought here also is if you were going to eventually move on from one of the quarterbacks, the last thing you want to do is put out publicly that you really only want to keep three. By saying there's a world where you could keep four, you're not strengthening your positioning, your hold in this situation necessarily. But by saying you really only think you can keep three, you're definitely weakening your bargaining position in moving a quarterback.
Jeff, what was your reaction to Jimmy Haslam today saying that the call for selecting Shedeur Sanders was Andrew Berry's call? I'm in the camp where I don't really buy that because it doesn't make much sense the way they've gone about crafting this quarterback room. But are you buying what Jimmy's selling, that was all Andrew Berry's call?
I think, you have to eventually put a name on it. And I think by Jimmy saying it was Andrew, Jimmy was saying I don't have any involvement. And, I'll be honest, I don't care how he got here. I don't care that it was the 5th round. I don't care that he slid all this way. There was so much talk last season as it was ending, and then when we started up our off-season talks in January, that there wasn't really a viable quarterback option necessarily out there. Now, Shedeur, I liked. I didn't think anybody should draft him at number 2 overall. If you wanted to take him with one of those 2 second-round picks, I probably would have been okay with it. If you had told any one of us you could get Shedeur at pick 144, everybody would have signed up for it. His talent was better than 144. And a lot of it, what the experts were saying, a lot of people were saying is the Browns are going to basically have to luck into a quarterback, similar to how the San Francisco 49ers kind of lucked into Brock Purdy. Well, however that situation worked out, and, whoever you want to say, pulled the trigger or made the final decision to do it at 144, I don't care. There's an opportunity here, albeit maybe not a major one, because the Browns do have 2 first-round picks next April in the 2026 NFL Draft. But of the 4 guys who are currently competing in that quarterback room for the Cleveland Browns, in my opinion, there's only one guy that could possibly alter the plan of drafting a quarterback next April, and that guy is Shedeur Sanders.
This season, Jeff, could get really bad early with this schedule, right? They host the Bengals, they go to Baltimore, they host Green Bay, they have to go to Detroit, they play Minnesota overseas, then they go to Pittsburgh. That's the first 6 weeks. I'm assuming they're going to be a dog in every one of those games. So how do you expect this to play out? Like, as far as when they actually decide, hey, it's time to play Shedeur or Dylan? Or are you buying the fact that maybe Dylan could actually get into the starting of the season if Pickett doesn't bounce back? Or is Flacco is obviously the highest floor? So paint me a scenario on the start of this season and how you see it unfolding.
Well, this is the difficult part, because for me, I have always felt that your best avenue here is, and look, everybody goes into week 1, everybody, tanking and, all this stuff that gets done through social media. Nobody's tanking right out of the gate. Nobody does that. You can't look at all 53 of those guys and just say, hey, guess what? Collectively, we suck. This is going to be a waste of everybody's time. You just can't say that. And look, there's been plenty of times where we've gotten to January and we talked about a team and we said, man, where was everybody talking about this team when we were talking, the last week of August, the first week of September before the season started? Joe Flacco gives you the best conceivable chance to compete this year. And this is where it maybe is kind of advantageous for the Browns that the roughest part of their schedule is right out of the gate. What if the team went 3-3? What if the team went 4-2? What if they went 2-4? 2-4 probably not ideal expectations, but considering where they're currently at and some of those franchises are currently at, wouldn't be too terrible. But you're going to weigh the way your team is currently constructed against the best part of your schedule, ideally with the guy who only has really one season to play for you anyway. It's not really any way to think that Joe's going to be a part of this next year. So you set all that up, and then you see where you're at. And then, hey, if you realize then we're not good enough to compete, for a playoff spot this year, for a winning record this year, there you are then with, 11 games plus to go, where we can really start an evaluation period, of course, with, Shedeur and, of course, with Dylan Gabriel. Is it one or the other? Is it a little bit of both? I mean, that is going to be, set to be determined as, we see these guys in the summer. And, as we see him week after week, and you already see that Gabriel and Sanders, both to their credit, I think their play is picking up. And, with Pickett now being unavailable, and you have no choice now but to get these guys reps with the, the twos and a little bit higher up the pecking chain, because you're not going to overwork Joe. It's ridiculous to do with a guy who's 40. But the other also thing is the expectations, even if things went really right for this team, I think you have a hard time believing that Joe Flacco can necessarily give you 17 games. So there's going to be time to pull this plug here. But again, the question is going to be when. But that first 6 weeks should give you the ideal scenario of when it's going to be time to maybe let the kids have their day.
Jeff, staying on offense and looking at the pass catchers. If I take Njoku and Jerry Jeudy off the board, who do you think has the most pressure on them to be a reliable pass catcher for whoever the quarterback is this year?
I think, personally, obviously, I think we're looking here at Cedric Tillman. Deontay Johnson, I think the thing is just going to be with Deontay Johnson. Is he comfortable? Is he comfortable being here? Obviously, his, personal name took a hit, most of it his own doing. But what we're seeing right now is, this could be somebody that actually, turns out to kind of be, basically you turned over a rock and you found something for Cleveland. Deontay Johnson, for whatever happened, the last season plus with all these teams where he basically gave off, the reputation of being a malcontent, the guy can play. And, it's not like it's one final paycheck for him. He's still not even 30 years old yet. So there's a chance for another 1, 2, 3 years in the league. So, if Johnson can just stay within himself, he's a contributor. But it's Tillman. You get back to that 3-game stretch last year, with Jameis Winston, 7 receptions for 95 yards and a touchdown. That's what he was averaging over a 3-week stretch. I don't know, and I don't think that that's the type of player he can be week in, week out. But, thinking that maybe he can give you something along those lines certainly seems realistic. But also you need him. He's just a bigger guy. He works the middle. He can run the skinny post routes. And they don't have a lot of size at that wide receiver position. But these are things that Tillman can give them. So him staying healthy and hopefully being able to become that starting X is really something that this franchise needs right now.
Jeff, final minute here. I looked up on the screen maybe a half an hour ago, and I was looking at some camp highlights. And did I see the rookie Carson Schwarzenegger just lay a hit on some dude?
That may have been yesterday.
I'm
really
sorry.
Yoked up to Dylan Sampson. He caught him really good in a really good spot. But the thing, and there's some people doing some great work here, and they're doing the individual quarterback reps. And I think there was one yesterday of Joe Flacco and just his day yesterday. But the thing, it was supposed to be basically a highlight of Joe Flacco's day, but you just saw Carson Schwarzenegger everywhere. Carson Schwarzenegger was in on everything. The opportunity is coming a lot faster for Carson Schwarzenegger than maybe we would have anticipated. I think a lot of people thought, that Jordan Hicks was going to be the Mike. And obviously here, right before camp started, Jordan Hicks obviously had a change in mind. But that just accelerates the path for Carson Schwarzenegger. And I think one of the things, early in the 2020s when this administration started in Cleveland, the Browns weren't putting much into the linebacker room. We're talking about guys like B.J. Goodson, Sione Takitaki. There wasn't a big investment necessarily into that room, but it seemed every year the Browns were getting the best out of that linebacker room, getting more maybe than they were putting into it. And, I think, it's really, really, a credit, to that room, to that linebacker coach, the way this has really gone over here for the last few years. It's really become consistent. And I think for Carson Schwarzenegger, and for me, I think he's going to be a guy that takes even one more step, because we have to realize this is a guy that only started 1 year at UCLA. His first 2 years there, he was primarily a special teamer and, led the nation in tackles. So I think once he gets caught up, and he gets acclimated a little bit more with the NFL gameplay, I think there's going to be yet another jump with Carson Schwarzenegger. And, there could be a real chance that we talk, a year, 2 years from now, that maybe Carson Schwarzenegger maybe was the gem of this 2025 draft class for the Browns.
You the man. I love having you on. Can't wait to talk about it for real, bud. Be well, and we'll talk again soon. Thanks.
You got it, fellas. Be good. Have a great day.
Yep. Jeff Lloyd, Orange and Brown Report on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. You mentioned Jordan Hicks and the injury and the retirement, Maddie. The very first, my last year at Channel 6 2010, and Clay and I drove from the station to go see a kid at Lakota West to try to find out where he was going to go to school. It was Jordan Hicks. Chose Texas, ironically. He was playing Ohio State. Yeah. But there was an Ohio kid, and we drove. It was like one of our last great trips together. We just drove to Lakota West.
Shout out to Clay
Jordan
Hall.
Hicks.
We're going to give away right now a $50 gift card to Skyline Chili. 614-821-9710 is Rhyme Time's hotline number. Earlier in the show, AR did a tremendous job honoring the career of Ryne Sandberg, former Chicago Cub. Ryne Sandberg was a 10-time All-Star. If you are the 10th caller, you'll get a $50 gift card to Skyline Chili. Again, his number is 614-821-9710.
Thought you were going to do to Rhyme Times, really be cruel and say he wore the number 23, 23rd caller. Answer all of them. Talk to everyone. We'll give you that answer the winner when we come back and tell the truth. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
At Planet Fitness, we're declaring it. This is the year of getting stronger, and you can get started now by saving when you join today. We have all the best-in-class equipment you could ever need, and you can work out your way on your time at any convenient location near you. Most open 24 hours. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save. Just $1 down, $15 a month.
Offer ends July 31st.
See Home Club for details.
I'm an old school Joe. I never lay juice I don't want to lay. I don't hate my money like that. I'd rather lay minus 108 than minus 110, wouldn't you? Prime Sports is Ohio's full-time reduced juice sportsbook. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When was the last time you hopped out of bed without that knee or back screaming at you? Or walked down a flight of stairs without having to take your time? You thought to yourself, I'll just tough it out. But nothing changes. Hi, it's Tyvis Powell. It's time to call and schedule that free consultation with Dr. Wolkoff and his team at QC Kinetics here in Columbus. I'm glad I did. Myself and others have turned around their lives with QC Kinetics regenerative treatments that work with your body to help restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Natural cellular therapies. No scalpels, no pills, just long-term relief with no dreaded recovery. Check it out at qckinetics.com/Columbus. Bring your x-rays and MRIs to QC Kinetics for a free, no-pressure chat and thorough evaluation to see if you're a good candidate. Find out if you're a good candidate. The consultation is free. Just call QC Kinetics at 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
We could tell you what makes Giant Eagle special, but we think our customers say it best.
I love the fresh produce. I love the fresh meat.
I'm pretty sure the fish guy knows me by now. We're buds.
I love to grill. That alone keeps me coming back.
The people that work here are so nice and so helpful.
Everybody loves the cakes from Giant Eagle.
On every shelf, in every department, we're always going for better because being your Giant Eagle matters.
This is my Giant Eagle.
This is my Giant Eagle.
This is my Giant Eagle.
Working your way through that honey-do list? That means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing and drain cleanings and repairs and all your heating and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your furnace or air conditioner. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain cleaning? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing issues? Call the Waterworks. Furnace repairs? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted neighborhood plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
T-Bone and Tyvis.
Well, we have to watch this. I have to.
We got to do some research.
Yeah, what's going on? Orgasmic meditation. A lot of people are calling this show, Tyvis, orgasmic meditation.
T-Bone and Tyvis Mornings on the Fan is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
It's the summer event at Germain Honda of Dublin, and Rich has unbeatable offers. Lease a sleek 2025 Honda Accord LX for as low as $329 a month, or finance it with 3.99% APR. Or upgrade to Adventure with the 25 Honda Pilot Sport all-wheel drive. Leases starting at $429 per month or 4.49% APR. Drive into summer with style, comfort, and confidence. Visit Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270. See dealer for details.
Road trip! This summer at Tire Discounters, your tires are your passport to savings, because you're driving to Paris,
Texas!
Then it's off to Rome,
Georgia!
And you'll be kissing the Blarney Stone in Dublin, Ohio! Right now, save up to $434 when you buy 4 tires, and that includes a free alignment and oil change. Stop at Tire Discounters before you see the world.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Right Way Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Window Nation. Get 50% off all window styles, plus no interest until 2030. Visit windownation.com now.
right, he's still answering phones. 50th caller.
Yeah, he's grinding over there. Rhyme time.
This man
grinding. Putting in work, baby.
Nice. Listen, TLC talks to everybody on the phone.
And in the YouTube chat. He's having his own show. Look, I used to be a producer. I'd do the same thing. Callers would call.
That may be a gong.
You know?
I used to do that job.
Yeah, just call.
I used to on the way up when I was doing the underlings job. I say it again, man. I used to do
that job.
I used to do it.
You know?
Yeah, I was on fries.
I don't know.
Now I'm assistant manager.
I'm flipping patties, baby.
You're going to be off fries soon. All right. Tell the truth. Take us home, big man.
All right. So since we've been talking a lot of Browns today, who do you think will play the first meaningful snap? Shador or Gabriel?
Gabriel.
Shador.
I just had a quick knee-jerk reaction. He's been a little more with the top tier. Not saying that Shador couldn't pull even here and catch up. Meaningful snap. So you're just saying a snap in a regular season game, not a preseason game.
A regular season game.
Draft capital matters. But should it be the end-all, be-all?
It's not. It's at this point, it's probably not.
Right. And so, I think Dylan's probably the right answer here. But my gut saying Shador will play more this year. But the first meaningful snap, I think, will go to the third round pick.
Speaking of the Browns real fast, Martin Emerson Jr. is like laying at practice right now.
Laying?
Like down.
Down?
Yeah, like guys are around him.
Yeah, that's a tough part of this year. Part of the calendar, right, is just the injuries are piling up around the league.
Bringing a cart.
Okay. Well, I mean, don't want to overreact too much. They brought a cart out for Justin Fields the other day, and he's back out there. But no, I mean, it's fair to have your mind go there.
Bring a cart down here for me at the end of the show, usually.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
You got a bad back. You got a bad knee, and, you know.
No
bad
weight
elbow.
on his left leg.
All right, that's
He's
tough.
been helped to the cart.
Okay. So that's
Martin
not great.
Emerson.
Not great.
Cornerback.
Something to watch out for.
Okay.
Jay's jacked off his own feet last night.
Okay.
Oh, man.
That's quick work, by the way.
TLC was off today.
I thought he was, too.
I thought he was off
The Drop
today.
King, did he call you and say, hey, I was listening. Get that done.
I had that ready to go.
Play that again for me, rhyme time. What was I saying? Jay's jacked off his own feet last night. It happened.
I think you hear a very subtle me going, uh-oh. Did I say uh-oh?
Yeah. You said, what was that?
Play it again? Because I didn't hear it here the first time.
Well, it's not in this cut.
Oh, okay.
For the
originally.
Yes,
Okay.
originally, yes.
We'll get the whole director's cut.
Listen, man, you jack a
Later
dude's
in the-
shoes.
Later.
Ultimate disrespect. Come on, Roman Reigns. My guy.
So we talked about this one on the Buckeye Show last night. It's been going around. What's your favorite Ohio State football play of the 2000s?
Ooh.
There was a ranking put out by 11 Warriors of the top 25 plays this century.
I'll give you one on offense and defense. The Braxton Miller spin move at Virginia Tech just jumped to the forefront of my mind. And
How about his play to win the Wisconsin game against Russ?
That's baller. And then on defense, Joey Bosa's walk-off at Penn State, where he just mauls the running
that's
back,
good.
I believe. So I'll give you two.
The most recent one would be Jeremiah Smith with a left arm box out of a touchdown, which was
which game was that
almost
again?
would be considered.
That was Iowa.
Yeah, it would be almost in a weird world. It would be like everyone looked at each other and said, "Was that OPI, or is that just the greatest thing ever?"
Didn't he do
something
something
to be the greatest thing ever?
right
Yeah.
there?
Didn't he do something freaky at Michigan State? And Devin Brown threw the ball. Wasn't there like a one-handed, something crazy
And
touchdown?
The DB had his hands in Jeremiah's face mask, and was basically you couldn't see it, and he just has his hand out there and snatches it.
That was good too.
This would be just almost impossible.
You could do a whole show on it.
I think the timing. I'll give you one that I mentioned 2 weeks ago, or whenever I was here. It was when. This isn't very. I work a day, then I take a week off. Work another day.
Good luck.
Ryan Shazier versus Wisconsin in 2012. He was preventing Monty Ball from being like the all-time touchdown guy. It was 4th and 1. and Wisconsin was about to tie the game, and he laid a hit. Ball came out, recovered by Ohio State. It was one of those timely plays that jumps into my mind, but there are a million.
And then, I mean, Jack's from last year against Texas will live on forever. The scoop and run.
I believe that was 3 in the ranking.
Yeah, if we had a little more time to think about it, we could probably rank them.
Shout out to Pick North, too.
That was Tyvus for not picking either of his interceptions in the game or taking down Alabama.
I thought he would have the one in Ann Arbor, right? Yeah. That one or that one as well. Hey, before we go, if you miss anything from our show, don't worry. You can always catch up wherever you get your podcast. All you have to do is type in Rothman and Ice. Everything we do from noon to 3 will be waiting there for you. Subscribe to the pod as well. Bet365 is the exclusive sports betting sponsor of the Rothman and Ice podcast. Coming up on Common Man and Timmy, Jason Stark joins the boys at 5:30.
All right, thanks for listening. Rhyme Time, great job. You're back tomorrow again. We salute you, and we thank you for listening. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Just when you thought afternoons couldn't get any dumber.
You fellas been doing a bit of boozing, have you?
Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
Your home for dumb. The Fan.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-426-VEIN. That's 614-426-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
Delaware County Veterans Services is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Give Delaware County Veterans Services a call, 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment.
Cash, moolah, greenback toast, Skrilla, chips, bread and mold, cheddar, butter, lewd and scratch. Find the letters, make a match. Lettuce, gravy, game on the back for $30. That's a wrap. There's many words for cash, no doubt, but there's only one $30 cash word. Check it out. Cash word from Ohio Lottery. It's $30, yo. Cash word, it's fun to go with millions of prizes, don't you know? Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Irish Adventure awaits at the Dublin Irish Festival August 1st through 3rd in Dublin, Ohio. Voted 2025 USA Today Best Cultural Festival in the nation. This year promises 3 incredible days of Irish music, dance, food, and fun. Enjoy unique Irish experiences as you explore one of the top festivals in the US. Drawing over 90,000 guests to Dublin, Ohio each year. Get your tickets at dublinirishfestival.org.
Common Man here for Germain Lexus of Dublin and Easton. My guys at Germain are celebrating their biggest pre-owned sales event of the year. Tons of vehicles on the lot for you to choose from, and they're ready to deal. It's also the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event with rates as low as 2.99%. I was riding in my Lexus on one of our hot summer days, and I felt the crisp breeze of cold air on my cracky. Don't you want that for yourself? Of course you do. Germain Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, GermainLexus.com.
Get your air conditioner fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling, 1-800-COOLING.
Hey friends, Beamer here, and dropping just 25 pounds with Awaken 180 can actually give you 10 extra degrees of golf swing rotation. That's about a half a club longer, 6 to 10 extra yards on every swing, but from experience, lose 75 pounds like I did, and now we're talking next level distance, consistency, and even mood, especially on the back nine. And actually, every pound you drop takes 4 pounds of pressure off your knees. So I lost 300 pounds of pressure off of mine. Take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey there. You hear that? Right? You don't. That's what it's like to order food for your workplace with EasyCater. No hold music while you wait to place your order. No tapping as you type in special dietary instructions or long, complicated searches for options in your budget. No crinkling of paper receipts. Just...
Dang, these are some tasty sandwiches.
EasyCater, the better way to order food for work. Order now at easycater.com.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
my debit card.
Their debit card.
Where did I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound, that's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
It's child's play to donate your car, truck, RV, or boat to Ronald McDonald House Charities of Central Ohio. They'll pick it up free of charge, steer you through the paperwork, and a hefty tax deduction rolls your way as you help provide a home away from home for families of seriously ill hospitalized children. For more information about donating your vehicle to Ronald McDonald House Charities, visit rmhc-centralohio.org or call 614-CARS-HELP. That's 614-CARS-HELP.